Hello, everyone, and welcome to Random Number Generation, the GDQ Hotfix show about randomizers, randomizer adjacent content, and the wonderful communities behind them. I'm Skye Bills, your host, and this is episode 128, Hollow Knight Randomizer with Gelly and Blue Prince Rando with Gelly and Bobby Berm. How y'all doing?
I'm doing excellent.
So good.
I'm Gelly, for the record, and I have my co-commentator here, Bobby Berm.
Yeah. Hello, hello.
Yeah. So we might as well just get into it with Hollow Knight here. So I'm doing Area Blitz Randomizer, which I'm going to force Bobby to explain all of. Here are all the settings in case you're the sort of individual who is interested in Hollow Knight Randomizer settings. We have a preset seed. We'll get into that a little bit. I will begin the randomization, and then time starts in a 3, a 2, a 1, go. All right. So, Bobby, you want to give a little bit of explanation onto what I'm doing here today?
Yeah, so we're doing Hollow Knight, but a little different. So everything is randomized, obviously. But it's Area Blitz is a rando where all the things get shuffled around like a rando, but only half of the areas can contain things. So, most checks that Gelly will be doing in areas will have, 2 or more items in them. So as an example of that, you might not have to go to Green Path, for example, but every item in Fog Canyon might have 2 things or more in it, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the gist of this. We're kind of going area by area and searching for checks. That's kind of the general gist of what we're looking at here.
Right. So to give an idea of what I'm attempting to do here in terms of strategy, I'm given a bunch of starting items in order to make this a little bit faster, because Hollow Knight is a massive game. I would not be expected to be able to go through all of these areas within like a 70-minute time limit. So like Bobby said, Area Blitz cuts down the areas to half. Ooh, great slash to start. So another set of the items that I'm going to be starting off with are some charms. Neither of these are particularly interesting. I'll take Shape of One because that's funny. And a list of stags. Now, Bobby, you know the stag system probably better than I do. What's up with stags?
Yeah, the stags, so if you've never seen these before, they basically allow you to transport around the map quickly. It's just that, as a fast travel. So once you actually discover some of these areas, you can pop around, transport as you see fit. If you've never seen Hollow Knight before in general, these benches also serve as checkpoints, more or less. So if Gelly were to die at any point, you would just basically reset back to those benches, and these...
Yeah, so I'm also playing with a bunch of quality of life mods, and one of those is bench warp. Normally in Hollow Knight, you use the benches, as he said, for checkpoints in case you die. However, in order to make our lives a lot easier, we can use the map in order to warp to any bench that I have access to.
Usually there's a bench.
So we're going to be relying on that heavily in order to make sure that I'm progressing through things. So a couple of the things that I've already collected super early, which is an advantage of being able to play a rando like this, is Shade Cloak, which gives me a little bit of a boost in terms of speed and also allows me to access some additional areas, and Howling Rays, which is a spell which is incredibly important for how we can get through a lot of these bosses very quickly. As I talk to Nail Master here, Bobby, can you talk a little bit about the 3 spells and like the 3 upgrades that each of those get and why those will be important?
Telesomet. Bam. Findel.
Yeah, so in general, the 3 different spells, they kind of give you different ways to play through the game. You can think of them as maybe a profile of kind of how you're playing. And so depending on how, what kind of profile or what kind of spell that you have, it kind of adjusts, you kind of adjust your game.
So Howling Rays is our up spell, and that's going to be one that's going to be incredibly key when I'm fighting
nails
Umu,
kind of thing. So
who is the defender of one of the Dreamers. I don't have Dreamers randomized, so in order to give myself just a little bit of consistency in these randos. So I'm going to be forced to fight Umu, who is one of the bosses that defends one of those. And then there's 2 others, Descending Dark / Deep Dive. I'm not exactly sure if I remember the name correctly. That's the down spell that essentially you get to dive through enemies. And then there's the Vengeful Spirit, which is the spell that does essentially fireball related stuff. And so that's your up, your down, and your right. And I'm going to need at least one of those spells to be the 2nd level in order to make sure that I can deal a sufficient amount of damage against any one of these bosses. However, the fact that I've gotten one of these spells super early
already got the Dream Nail, yeah?
I start with Dream Nail. Dream Nail is also one of the items that I start out with just for ease of access. Like I said, Dreamers are not randomized to make sure that I don't accidentally grab 3 Dreamers in 15 minutes and have to fight my way through Hollow Knight with nothing. So I have the Dreamers not randomized, which are Lurian, which is at the top of City of Tears, Monomon, who is hidden behind Teacher's Archives and Umu, and then Hera, who is behind Distant Village. And so each of those unrandomized aspects are going to dictate exactly how I'm going to be approaching each of these. Let's not do that dream tree.
Also, more specifically, we have to call out the fun aesthetic face on the Hollow Knight here. We have the oval face.
Heavily modded game, if you haven't been able to tell already. Do I have a spell that is sufficient for this? I'm using the random mob. Okay, so it seems to think I'm able to attack that Balder shell, but I have a sneaking suspicion I was supposed to equip glowing room here. So as with any randomizer, much of the areas of the game, please don't mess this up again. Excellent.
Nice.
Many of the areas of this game are locked off behind sort of, as in any Metroidvania, the things that you are able to do and the things that you're not able to do. And one of the more important ones maybe even one of the less important ones are the Balder shells. And Balder shells are essentially locked behind whether or not you have any horizontal range spell access. So I don't at the moment, but I do have glowing room, which if I get enough soul, like for example here, I will automatically get these little goofuses that spawn with me that can explode on enemies, provided that I can convince them to. We'll see exactly how good I am at doing that. And if this doesn't work, we might skip this check for like a little bit until I get like a spell that's good. I'm going to take him.
Yay,
and I'm going to move over here. Shout out to the grubs. We may or may not have to deal with grubs depending. Oh, thank goodness.
Nice.
Right, so that gives us access to this check over here and also a little bit of geo to work with. Okay, so that's cleared out that area. Let's go back to Dirtmouth, I think. One of the more important things, especially with having having area blitz, is that shopkeepers are going to have approximately twice as many items. So shopkeepers are the most important thing that I could be working on here. Queen Station, I'm going to be 50-50 on. I'll take Fragile Greed for now because that'll be a check. I unlocked the what do you call it? The Grim Troop, which is a DLC that was added to the game as a part of something or other later on, which adds this whole circus area. Not just the clan, you're the whole circus. We'll hopefully not be fighting Grim, but God bless if we do. And one of the more important things...
All right, sorry, go for it.
What? Oh,
no, go for it. I was going to add one thing about what you just picked up.
The Dream Wielder or the 20 Essence?
I was going to talk about the Fragile Greed.
Oh, yeah. So that's just where I was. So these fragile charms here, I mean, you can explain it if you like.
So like these charms are basically just boons to your character throughout the game, and so you would imagine you can have a few of them depending on your space capacity, your sockets, that kind of thing. And so like Fragile Greed, for example, is one that Gelly grabbed that it gives you more. It gives you more currency. 20. I think it's 20 to 100% more geo depending, and it breaks up if Gelly were to die. I believe is the situation there.
Yeah. So I attempted to talk to. Zelda, I believe is her, or Divine. Sorry, I talked to Divine for a second there. She is a check for check in terms of in the standard game. Oh, do I have to go to Crossroads the normal way? All right, that's fine. Normally, in the game, you give the fragile charms to Divine, who is that caterpillar type creature over in that right tent, or the left tent rather, and she will swallow it for a great fee in order to convert it to an unbreakable form of that charm. So instead, because we're randomizing things, you just kind of toss Fragile Greed at her for a second, and she will give you something for a price. Defocus 2, I think, is good. Queen's Garden may not be, but we'll see. So I'm next moving on through the Forgotten Crossroads, which is we're trying to optimize as many checks as possible in terms of density. I want to do as many checks as possible, and so Forgotten Crossroads is one of the easier ways that I'm able to check as many things as I can. I'm going to have to pass up a check that's right above me here because I need vertical movement, which I currently do not have any access to. The two vertical movement options would be Mantis Claw and Monarch Wings. Do you want to talk about both of those for a second, Bobby?
Yeah, so Mantis Claw is a fun one. So it basically allows like you to wall climb more or less. So you can kind of climb up walls, leap off of them, that kind of thing. You can slide down. It gives you access normally in the game, it gives you access to new areas, that kind of thing. And so Gelly really wants that in order to, have more access to more things across the game in general, right? So being able to have more mobility in general gives more access to checks, that kind of thing.
Right. And then Monarch Wings is the double jump that I would have access to, which is a little bit more limited in its scope, but it's definitely just about as useful. I will need Mantis Claw in order to finish the game because the Dreamer that exists that is Monomon, I cannot access it without having the ability to wall climb up to where it is access to. Also, I'm fighting Gruzmother here, which is amongst the most difficult bosses. Just kidding.
Nice. Very nice.
We're not done yet, but it's fine. We're almost there. So, we've talked about shops. We're about to talk to Salubra for a second here because Salubra is within logic as well. She's got, I'm going to need minimum charms for some of the checks. So it may be that I need to pick up charms that I don't really care much for just so that Salubra will be able to allow me access to certain things. We'll see how that shakes out. As well, Sly is down here, who is another shopkeeper that I will talk to momentarily after picking him up from Dirtmouth. What do we got access to here? Okay, this is free Geo. Not going to pass that up. I really would like a Best Shriek. I don't quite have the charms for it, but that should be an easy pass. Here's Desolate Dive, but that's 20 charms, so that's going to be a while from now, so we might be locked out of a decent amount of the game until I've got 20 charms. And that's pretty much it in terms of the things that I need from her. And then we'll talk to Sly real quick, and we'll talk shop with him. In the meantime, I'll talk about the things that I need in order to finish the game due to my Dreamers requirement. So I need to have Mantis Claw to bare minimum, like I said, in order to be able to have access to things. As a minor, I'll take this. As a minor sort of requirement, I'm going to take 3 Pale Ore in order to upgrade my Nail. The Nail can be upgraded using Geo and Pale Ore through the Nail Master, I believe is his name, Nailsmith, something along those lines. 3,000 Geo is not going to be something of great concern because I'm picking up, as you can see in my inventory here, a bunch of these artifacts over here. So like I have an arcane egg, which is normally very difficult to get access to, but because everything's randomized, you'll just randomly get them, and those are about 1,000 Geo, provided I can sell them correctly. Crystal Heart for 5 is probably important. Mark of Pride for 2. Yeah, so we're going to hope for 5 grubs here. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing that.
And remind me, are those all random as well? Like, are those,
yes.
Is that whole item is, okay, that I didn't know. That whole menu is also randomized.
Yeah, that whole menu is randomized. The grub costs that are associated, for what it's worth, are much more limited than what you would expect in the standard vanilla randomizer, because we just don't have time to collect all of the grubs. But I am going to collect at least 5 grubs here. I've already collected 1, as we saw earlier, and I'll very shortly here go over to this guy. And this is a little bit of downtime. We're just going to be doing movement to the grubs, not many checks. So, Sky, is there anything that you would like to talk about?
Yes. Before I get into announcements for GDQ, we do have a quick question here from the chat. Is this rando going for normal ending or TE? Not sure what TE means in this context, but I just want to make sure we answered that question from the audience.
My deepest apologies. We are just going for normal ending. I am not doing anything Radiance related, my bad.
All right, no problem. Just want to make sure we answered that. In terms of Games Done Quick, I do want to inform you all about the Discord that we have. So if you're looking to more get involved with the GDQ community, join the official Games Done Quick Discord and add the hotfix role to stay in the loop on upcoming events, chat with staff, and more. Use !Discord in Twitch chat for an invite and more information. Also, we have a YouTube channel. Catch up on past hotfix shows, special events, and GDQ marathons over on youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with GDQ. So, we were talking about this in the pre-show a little bit. Gelly, do you want to talk about what your most recent experience with Hollow Knight is? What got you into Hollow Knight Randomizer?
Yeah, so I don't usually do Metroidvanias. It's not my normal style of game. I'm more inclined towards puzzle games and the like, but there's this event called Speedruns, where the idea is that you're randomly assigned a game that you have to learn in the space of about 3 months. And I was assigned Hollow Knight Randomizer, no less. And so I have gone from not playing Hollow Knight ever to being I don't know how many hours deep at this point, 150 hours deep, and I'm only halfway through Speedruns, so it'll be at the very beginning of December when I have to like do a proper marathon run. These are with amended settings, so this is far faster than what is expected. I think it's going to be a 2-hour estimate, and I can tweak the settings for that. But yeah, so I am very unfamiliar with the wits and the wiles of Hollow Knight. Like people mentioned, there is like a T ending, which I think means true ending. I have never encountered that because I simply do not have the time. Other things that I just don't have the time to do access for, White Palace, etc. And in terms of the time access for this game, I did mention that I had to do a little bit of work on the seeds. Deepest apologies, will not be going to Kingdom's Edge or Deep Nest due to just how involved and how tight those are. For now, I just don't have the wherewithal in order to do those within 70 minutes. So we will not be seeing those today, but everything else is fair game. Okay,
that was so many checks, by the way.
Yeah,
so many checks.
Because I had 5 grubs, we're good to go there. And so that actually gives me Crystal Heart, which means I can do a little bit of this action, which is your seed ashing, just as a demonstration. So that gives me a little bit of movement in terms of where I'm going next, but I've actually got to finish the rest of Forgotten Crossroads here. I'm just jumping from place to place in order to pick up as many checks as possible, and the grubs was a super easy one to take, and now we're going to finish this section here. Again, a big priority about randomizer is not like knowing where checks are, because very rarely do you have access to previewed checks. There are some like long distance checks like the grub checks where you can like know before having to do any amount of work to get them, but like normally it's just a game of like, can I randomly get enough going until I have the things that I need, and then certain other things get unlocked, etc., etc. So we're going to be doing False Night here, and I have spells. I have this one, so we're going to be using spells as much as possible. I don't get soul off of hitting the exterior of False Night here, so I'm going to have to just do a little bit of fighting here, but then we do a 1-2, bang, bang, and then yeah, we're almost done here. It's a lot easier to do this fight whenever you have access to spells. 2. Oh, and I missed. That's okay. And one last shot. And then we just have to wait through the enrage timer on the Hollow Knight here, and I'll just like sit here, I don't know, press G to dab, and then we go.
Very nice.
GG. All right, so yeah, that's False Night. That's no issue whatsoever. And then we'll be finishing up the shaman area, and then so on and so forth. I was partially going through the list of items that I was expecting to get access to. Like I mentioned, I'm going to need an upgraded spell. Vengeful Spirit is a nice one, but it's not the most important one. I would like to have Descending Dark, which is the down spell at level 2. For anybody who's done any amount of Hollow Knight speedrunning, the Watcher Knights, which defends Lurien, is a great pain, and Descending Dark is the easiest way to make your life not so painful in that regard. So we're hoping for that. If I can't swing that, it won't be the end of the world, but it would be quite nice if I could get that. And then the other quite nice thing, well, there's Desolate Dive. I think I might be good then. I'll need a bunch of charms from Celebro though. And then the other thing that I want to have is Shaman Stone. For the most part, I can work with whatever charms I have access to, simply because, you know, most charms give you advantages and it's totally fine. Shaman Stone increases your spell damage up to like 50%, and I tend to be a spell heavier player because spells are more important than nail for the most part, although I do want nail upgrades. Yeah. It's not the end all be all. Shaman Stone basically turns all bosses to butter, so
I think it's cool. Like, one thing about Hollow Knight is like the fact that, like, you know, you can play kind of however you want. I mean, obviously the rando is like specifically like what you have access to, but like I think that like having Shaman Stone, for example, to use like the spells instead of like more of like your, you know, your more physical attacks is just such a fun, you know, way. And that's why I think randomizers are so fun too, because it kind of forces you to learn like new things, like things you might not do otherwise. So I think that's really cool as well.
Yeah. There are the nail arts, I believe, which is like Cyclone Slash and Dash Slash, etc. I cannot find the life of me, at least in a rando setting like this, where I'd ever use those. There is a check that those are relevant for, where if you get all 3, Sly gives you a couple of checks. But other than that, I tend to be a spell-heavy gamer rather than anything else. I beeped that. There we go.
Very nice.
I don't think you're normally supposed to be able to make it up there, but you can just do
Nope.
So you could just do some pogoing, which is very important, by the way. So in a rando setting like this, it's very important to be able to pogo off of enemies, which is why I'm actually going to upgrade my nail at the very end of the run. This is because there may be some skips where I have to pogo, aka do a down slash on a certain enemy, multiple times in a row. We probably won't encounter it, but just in case. And if my nail can do too much damage, then I'm liable to kill my enemy before I can get full height off of it. So it's actually important that I'm not always upgrading at all times. And in fact, the guy who upgrades nails will tell you, like, don't do this unless you're like super uber ready or you have some vertical movement alongside it. Also, I just finished off brooding Moloch. Easy boss. Easy boss. All right. Now where is our next plan of attack here? So, okay, yeah, we're going to start heading through this area. So this is another shop over here. I've been looking at the map a lot because it's very useful to have access to. And there's a bunch of settings which we may or may not use depending on how dire things get. The random map mod can give you like hints on what you're looking to do next, etc. It's usually advised that you keep yourself kind of lean on that, but just in case something goes wrong, we can always do that. And one of those things that I'm using a lot is whether or not I have access to certain checks. And one of those checks over here, which we can easily talk to, is Leg Eater. Now I'm a little bit low on Geo, so we're just going to be looking at items rather than buying anything. But here's Leg Eater. Normally Leg Eater, you have to pay 86, right? And then you have access to looking at all of these checks. Steady Body, Sprint Master for 0 is cool as a cucumber. Yeah, so you want to talk about Charm Notch costs and what you have to juggle in order to make that work?
Yeah, sure. So like the notches that you get basically allow you to add more slots to add more charms, and so like balancing that, especially when you're playing casually, is like really tough to decide. It's like, do I want to get like a boon to my character, like maybe a certain charm that will work really well, or do I want to spend money right now on another slot that I'm not going to get a boon now, but later I'll be goated because I have like 3 of them and I have 1 extra, right? So it's kind of that balance there, and especially in a randomizer, I don't know if that's for you, if that's easier or harder to balance.
Oh, it's so much harder because it changes every single time. Sprint Master can be anything from 0 to 6, right? And so if it's at 6, there's no chance that I'm going to be using it because there's no way I've got the space for it. But I'm on 0. There's no reason to not equip it almost. So I'm just going to roll with it. And Sprint Master just increases my base speed, which is super useful for navigating these areas, not only because it doesn't technically increase any access to things, but like I'm just zooming. Dash Master is my favorite charm for a speedrunning aspect because I start with dash, which is another starting object that I do just to make my life a lot easier. And Dash Master lets you dash pretty much as much and as fast as you want to. So hopefully we'll get to see that, but it's very likely that we could get 5 charm notch cost for it as much as we could get it for 0. Quill Crossroads Stag is a nothing burger, so we'll pass on that.
We also had a question in the chat, Gelly, from what you collected before from Salubra. Someone was wondering if you can get Descending Dark from somewhere other than Salubra, or if it's locked to that.
Good question. Yeah, so normally the way that you get the upgrades to spells is that you actually go to like a particular place and you collect the Descending Dark item. Funny enough, there are just like 3 dive items that exist in the game. And if you collect the first one, you get dive. And if you collect the second one, you get the upgraded version of dive. And then if you collect the third one, you end up getting 100 Geo because there's no third upgrade to a spell like that. So I will be able to go back to Salubra in order to get Descending Dark, so that is something that is on my mind. But for now, if you recall, I need to have 20 charms in order for Salubra to feel like, oh, I will want that. I will need to get my hands on 20 charms in order to be able to access that Descending Dark, and I currently have not, but okay, I'm actually kind of getting close. We'll see.
I was going to say, you have a lot. Yeah.
I can't actually make my way up here either. So I need actually a bunch of Geo. So let's see if I can actually make my way over to City of Tears and cash in on my artifact. I can, but it's going to take a little bit. So this is definitely not the way that we're supposed to be able to get access here. And again, normally, when you're accessing stags like this, you are supposed to go to the stag station, purchase access to the stag station, and then from there, you are able to access the stag. In this case, I just started with King Station, so I'm all the way on the right side of everything City of Tears related, so I can just like make it over to everything over here. Normally I think you like need a city crest, which is a whole item that is now just an empty item that I don't care about in any capacity. However, we're taking our sweet bip and time in order to get there. All right. Sweet statue cutscene here. Cool.
Very nice. Cool. Okay, bye.
Yeah, Bobby, can you explain the lore to that? I've never played vanilla.
I actually don't. To be honest, I think when I did my casual playthrough, I think I skipped past that. It's something Shaw, something Silk Song. You know?
Yeah. Shout out to Silk Song.
Yeah. I actually forget what that. I think it's something lore related. I don't actually remember.
There's a name associated with it. So shout out to the lore heads out there. If someone wants to explain it in the comments, much appreciated. On my way up to Lemu, who is the individual who buys all of my artifacts for Geo, which will be super important. It's going to allow me to take like a second round trip through all the shops on the things that I missed. I'm going to collect a couple of incidental checks over here, and I'm going to get bodied by these flying individuals who I'm not so good at fighting. So, and we're good. All right, checked on there.
Nice.
And then I keep forgetting. I've had Crystal Heart this whole time, so. Oh, I'm a little bit low for that. I'm totally cooking here. I should be using it way more than I am, but I forgot. Right. Easy peasy. Can I get the rotten egg up here? Oh yeah, I can totally get the rotten egg up here. Normally this rotten egg, you would normally have to have some sort of vertical movement in order to get access to it, but we'll do something a little bit funny here. There is a background object, and I can pogo off of it and get up to it.
Those enemies are the worst, dude.
Oh yeah, just know that they're there. Simply know.
Yeah, right.
All right, QOL mod thing. I can talk to the right side of Lemu and sell all of the artifacts that I have on hand, and that's that. Well,
just a casual 6K.
Yeah, just a casual 6K. So now we're gonna zip through everything that we've been through before and see what we want hands on. So the thing that I remember wanting in particular was that Queen's Garden over here, there is Fragile Strength for 0, which is wild. Fragile Strength is another one of these super powerful charms that, you know, if it breaks, it's a problem. But now that I have, you know, I can equip it at any time and I'm not super concerned about it, and it'll basically upgrade my nail by like 50%, so that's going to be good. Another thing that I wanted was Abyss Shriek, which is my super upgraded up spell. Here's some Pale Ore. I should double actually check how much Pale Ore do I have. Oh, I have enough Pale Ore. We ignore Pale Ore from now on. We're going through this quite quick.
What's the number you look for Pale Ore normally for upgrades?
About 500 is like a decent number. If you get lower than that, you're good. If you get higher than that, you kind of bulk at the number for a bit and then you buy it anyway. Descending Dark is good. And then we'll go up here, and I believe Quick Slash for 1 is up here too. We may consider buying Charm Notch slots, which is another thing that is important. That I tend to spend, you know, Snap Take on 800 if I can manage it. But I don't have the money for it. Okay, Fragile Heart for 2. So we're going to do a bunch of those fragile checks like I mentioned before. The only thing that I'm missing at the moment, which is something that I forgot, is that I need Distant Village access. That is where Hera exists. Hera is that last streamer that I mentioned at a blush. And if I don't have a way to get there, you know, I won't be able to fight the Dreamer. So the way that you get there is that you can either navigate your way from Queen's Garden with additional movement, or if we can get the Distant Village stag. Okay, let me see. I was not paying attention. Let me check the charm notches real quick here. Let's see here. You want to talk about mass shards and vessel fragments? You remember those?
Yeah, so basically all of those to say, like, the more fragments and shards that you get, the more upgrades to like your healing, the more upgrades to your HP that you're seeing in the top left corner. I believe you need 4 pieces of the masks in order to get, is it 4? I think it's 4.
It's somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, I think you need 4 to make a whole new one. So obviously in the rando, you collect checks like crazy, so you're getting, you know, a ton of, you know, extra HP over the course of time. But in the game, normally, it's really hard to like get some of these items, obviously. But yeah, like basically they're all upgrades to your HP, and then on that left side, that circles your healing once you take some hits. So
yeah, we use soul for healing most of the time until we've got decent spells, and then we ignore that once we've got that. Ooh, Elegant Key and Shopkeeper Key is very good here. Shopkeeper Key gives me an upgrade to Sly, who we've been talking to incidentally, and so we'll have extra items we're skipping this cutscene because it's slow and not because it's gross, although honestly, either or. And then we'll just talk to Sly real quick, and then we'll take a recap on exactly what we're looking for here. Okay, I could get Descending Dark again, I think. Or Pale Ore. Sluber's Blessing doesn't do anything in this random mod. All right, we're just going to move on to the next thing. So, from here, we're probably going to start picking up incidental checks. I don't remember if I've got Isma's tier. Let me double check that real quick. I probably don't have access to Isma's tier, so we're going to have to access that one from the other side. Let's hit this Rancid Egg real quick.
All right. You probably wouldn't need to use the Elegant Key either. That's only like a couple checks, or is there more checks down there?
There's a couple of checks for Elegant Key, but I just don't have City Storerooms access. It's entirely possible that I actually forgot that I have access to buying City Storeroom Stag, and I just forgot. But we'll see. I have Shade Soul, but yeah, Elegant Key unlocks it's a couple of checks, but again, it's a couple of free checks, and it may be the important things that unlock the rest of the access to what I'm looking at, and it's not that difficult.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. I currently do not have access, so we'll see. I do have I have so many good charms at the moment, but my difficulty is that I ain't got notches for it, and I know that I completely ignored getting at least one of those notches before. And it was part of a Whispering Root tree. You know the Whispering Root trees, right, Bobby? The trees that you hit with your dream nail. Yeah, you want to talk about those?
Yeah. So with your nail, you can hit those, and they give you the little essences that then scatter around the area. And so collecting those in the game, you can kind of like upgrade. You can upgrade in that area. I don't remember her name that gives you the actual dream nail originally. Those upgrades, I cannot remember that character's name for the life of me. Seer. Okay, yeah. So you get a bunch of upgrades with that character normally when you hit that dream nail, and those trees are scattered throughout. I think there's like one per region, one or two. I think it's one per like region, I believe is the number.
More or less,
yeah.
So, normally you collect essence off of them, and you can use those essence with the seer, like we mentioned before. In Rando, you need to collect all of the essence from a tree in order to unlock whatever items are locked behind it. So it can be a bit of a hassle, especially if you don't have the right vertical options to fully get everything from Whispering Root. So I try not to get them unless like I strictly need them. But there was a charm notch on the one that was a part of Howling Cliffs, and I would have liked to have it, although I may not even be able to possibly do it without pogos, so we'll see how that goes. We're currently in this area. Oh, yeah, that's right. So this area...
I hear someone.
I got nothing. Oh, yeah, and this is Squeaky's down here. I got a nothing, so that's what you get when the area isn't actually a part of the area checks. There's just nothing there. I'm using this in order to access one check from the other side. I've been going through a bit of a hassle for this. There is a check as a part of King's Tiers here, which is an easy pickup. I just needed to do it from the other side because again, currently do not have any vertical movement options. I have Crystal Heart, which would be great. Oh no, come on. Don't do this to me. Not on my birthday. Hey, there it is. All right, great. Yeah, we're good to go. Wow. All right, so
I was literally about to say we really need the Mantis Claw.
We do really need the Mantis Claw. I'll use that for this check. Nice. And then I'm going to go back to King Station, and we're actually going to go up to that Elegant Key area, more or less. Not exactly, but. We need to go over to that area anyway because I need to have access to Lyrium, and so I should be able to do two of the Dreamers at this point. This isn't in logic, but I could do it. I don't even.
So I have a question for you, by the way.
Up?
How do you both feel about this seed so far? Just out of curiosity. And did you vet it? It's okay if you didn't. I'm not asking for a judgment call. I'm just curious about both of those.
Yeah, sure. Me personally, this seed seems pretty good so far. I'm a little bit nervous without having Distant Village stag at the moment. What time am I at, actually, to ask?
We're almost at about 33 minutes here.
Oh, yeah. This is very fast. So that's not going to be a problem, provided I can get Distant Village access relatively easily. I vetted it for one thing. I did mention this kind of before. I have a program that allows me to read the randomization that happens ahead of time. And all I did was I said, I don't want to do anything related to Deep Nest, and I don't want to do anything related to Kingdom's Edge, because everything there is a little bit too involved and a little bit too sparse. And so if the game expected it of me, I would probably have a hard time with it. So I just filtered those 2 areas out, but everything else is fair game. But you can see that I've got like Waterways is out. I'm happy that Waterways is out, but Resting Grounds is out, and I would have quite liked to have Rad Resting Grounds, to be honest. So that's kind of where I'm at, and what I did to get there. Oh, I'm gonna do this area out sight, because that's funny. There we go. No problem.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, I should explain what's up with that, huh? For anybody who hasn't seen any percent for Hollow Knight, I believe they do something similar there too. Essentially what's going on there is that there's a lever on the direct other side of that door. And so you can actually hit it from the bottom, but it doesn't hit the trigger that lights up that entire area. And so what ends up happening is it's just left in the dark for you to kind of fumble around with. But if you know where you're going, it's not a problem in the least. So
I did not know that.
We'll hit this grub just to be kind. just to be kind. And then we'll make our way over here. Okay. Oh, not you. Anything but you. Oh, I cannot aim for the life of me. There we go.
While you're taking out all these enemies, one thing I wanted to note is obviously top of mind is the fact that Silk Song is out now and Hollow Knight. And I just cannot stop thinking about how many like gauntlets there are in that game and how hard they are compared to this game. Like,
oh yeah,
the bosses are like about I think about as hard, if not maybe a tiny bit harder than Hollow Knight, but really like the difficulty in gauntlets in Silk Song compared to this game is just like a world of difference. It's so wild.
I could not imagine, which is why it's very unlikely that I'll play Silk Song without randomizer bench warps on. But I know people have been quite the fan of it. I think it must be an incredible upgrade in the difficulty. I know people have been kind of universally been like, yeah, this is way too hard. You know the boss. When I mentioned the boss, you know what I'm talking about. The super hard boss that everyone disliked.
In the new game? In Silk Song?
Yeah, in Silk Song.
I almost don't want to say it for spoilers. Kinda.
Oh, okay. All right. That's actually, you know what? Good idea. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just picking up a couple extra checks over here. We're doing the rest of City Tier's City Storeroom up here. Normally I would get here via City Storeroom stag, which is funny because, you know, normally you'd be expected to have the stag before you get here, but more often than not, I just end up using the stag. Anyway, we'll be picking up the rest of these checks here, and then we'll see about where we're picking up additional checks. Okay, excellent. Charm Notch and Isma's Tier is exactly the sort of thing that I'm looking for. Isma's Tier, I'll let you explain it. What's Isma's Tier? What's Isma? Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that was a me thing. Sorry.
Yeah, that is a you thing.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry. I was looking at the chat for things. Yeah. No, Isma Tier, yeah, it basically allows you to, like, sift through the acid, basically. It's not required by any means to, like, get through the end of the game, but it is something that is convenient to have. I found that way too late in my playthrough casually in order to get through all of the different acidic, like, bog areas. But yeah, it's, you know, it's a good item to have for sure.
Yeah, it's very good. I don't need it. The only thing that I would have needed it for is access to Teacher's Archives, because that is one of the 2 ways that I could have done it, was for Umu/Monomon. But because I have Shade Soul, which is the other way to do it, or Shade Cloak rather, I don't need to do that. Okay, so I've got Dash Slash now. Let me check. Do I have Nail Arts? I don't have Nail Arts. I'll need one more art for that. It's just basically, if you get 3 things, you get a free check, which means that each of those like Dash Slash Cyclone Slashes, their attack options, like here, I'll show you one of them. But you require so much charging associated with them that it's just not worth the effort. So I just use them as checks, and that's that. All right, we will go over here. So now that we're back here and we're a little bit more kitted up, I can do some additional checks in this area. First of all, there's the one that I kind of mentioned where I'm going to need the additional vertical, so we'll navigate through that area. And then there's another one where you need to have Crystal Heart unless you want to do something called Spike Tunnel Skip, which we're not going to do. We're not even going to consider that, where you can pogo off of a particularly dangerous set of spikes to get through the area. Couldn't quite figure out how to pull it off, but I would have. But I do have Crystal Heart, so I can do that the semi-intended way. All right, so So here's a series of checks. For what it's worth, by the way, which may or may not come up, these chests that come here are normally not here, right? Normally you're supposed to be picking up these items just off the ground as is, but they have to spawn chests in order to be able to spawn one or more multiple items. And there is one instance, which we may see, where that chest can be used to cheese an entire boss battle. It depends. We'll see if we get there. But yeah.
Are you still missing that stag, by the way?
I'm still missing Distant Village Stag. If I had Distant Village Stag, we would be on go mode. Go mode meaning I'd be ready to go, and I would be finishing the game.
Holy moly, you're going fast. And you just learned all this. You learned all this, Skelly?
Well, I mean, I have 150-ish hours in the game, I think, at this point.
Okay, but still, I want this to serve as an example. I always get people asking me, they say, Sky, how much experience do I need to be on your show? And I just want to let people know, we have people on the show with all different modes of experience here. So if you ever tell me, like, Sky, I can't do this, yes, you can. I want this to serve as like such a positive experience here. Gelly, you are just slaying it out here. I just want to let you know.
I'm glad to hear it.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
I wish I was doing more, but you know, it's what it is.
It's true. It's also an interesting way to like learn a speedrun, to like learn the speedrun first and then kind of go back later and like do all the extra fun stuff, right? Like, you know, I think it's really cool.
Someday I'll play this game casually.
Yeah, right.
All right. So I got Rancid Egg and Mash Shard. You know what's up with Rancid Eggs. You should talk about Rancid Eggs because they're funny.
Rancid Eggs. That's what I have for breakfast in the morning, man.
I sure hope not. Good golly.
These times are tough. Kidding. Oh my goodness. No. Well, anyway, they're collectibles in the game. They can be given to the Confessor, I believe, to summon a shade in the game. So. I think the description for the eggs, they don't give you a whole lot of detail about the rancid eggs initially. I think the description is literally like not considered edible or something like that.
Generally not considered edible. Good call. Yeah. So yeah, that's they're funny. We won't have to care about them. Normally, the way that you'd do anything with them is. There is the ability to turn on the egg shop, which is Gingy, I believe is the name, where you can trade in a bunch of eggs for just checks, right? But I found that much like the Grub Father, who we talked to momentarily, you can either just get absolutely nothing or you get about 20 checks in a row, and it just kind of feels like a weird drag to be held behind, so I decided to turn that off, and so now rancid eggs are just items that are in the way and nothing more. Okay, so
basically just coins.
Cool. Yeah, basically just like nothings, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna do this area, and then I won't lie. I accidentally hit the button that gave me a hint on what the game would consider a progression item. So I do know that there is something here. However, a progression item in this game can mean a wide variety of things. So we may be kind of doing a whole lot of nothing, because like as an example, we have Void Heart, which is a charm which is necessary to get the true ending. That is considered a progression item, and it is one of my worst enemy because it takes King Soul, which is one of my favorite charms. It basically regenerates soul over time and turns it into nothing. It turns it into literally nothing. So that and many other items are going to be sort of the things that could show up here. But it is entirely possible that, say, Distant Village Stag could appear anywhere here. And so that's my bad. I didn't mean to do that.
You're good. I do have one comment here.
Yeah.
There's two things I wanted to mention. Number one, I think it's really funny how, like, once you get to this point in the rando, like, if you take a look at Gelly's health, you know, we're cooking. We have, like, I think, what is it, 9? We have 9 for HP bar, so he can kind of, like, tank some hits here, which is really nice. Doesn't make it any the less impressive, but, you know, it's really nice, and once you get to this point, you have this many masks. I don't know how, like, normal it is to have 9 at this point, but, you know, it is kind of nice.
Not even close.
I was gonna say, but, like, I think you probably have, like, what, like 7, maybe? 6, 7?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Even in a rando setting.
Yeah, I do like, this is one of the gauntlets I actually don't hate.
Oh, I could have kept that guy around. In the all bosses run, one of the funniest things is if you keep that guy around and you navigate him through this area up here, while collecting this item, which has like a whole cutscene associated with it, the ghost can hit you out of this animation, and then you can immediately like leave and do something else. It's very funny, but I nugged them. Okay, City Storeroom Stag, not quite it. And Rancid Egg, which is definitely not it. So we'll navigate towards what's his name? Soul Master? You know Soul Master, the guy who gives you a Desolate Dive normally. He's a big goofy guy. We'll see him shortly. I promise.
It even goes to show that even when we know where we're going, we don't know where we're going. You know what I mean?
The map is incredibly useful, and I would be absolutely lost without it.
I will say, I think Soul Master might be my favorite boss in this game.
Okay, you do know. Right.
I like aesthetically, just so cool. Like, I think the fight is just so fun. Like, you know, I just really, really like it.
Yeah, and we'll see it shortly. I do have way more spells. I mean, I literally am going to have Desolate Dive to fight the guy who gives you Desolate Dive. So we're definitely OP for it, but, you know, I will still see at least bits and pieces of what the fight was meant to be. I cannot promise I will be good at it, but we'll see shortly. Oh man, I am getting
bullied. God, you're getting cooked in this corner.
Yeah, I know. let me do a little bit of healing here. We've got a couple of incidental checks that we'll be picking up here as well. Oops, ouch, dang it. We'll be fine. If I had Monarch Wings, this would be a piece of cake. I do not have Monarch Wings, so I'm kind of getting kicked here. All right, we're fine. So I navigate over here. We're going to take a bunch more hits doing this. I'm going to be safe about this. I'm going to be a coward. I'll be a bit of a coward. We'll pick this item here. And then, Soul Eater for 0 is fun. I do not have Monarch Wings. All right, heal up a little bit. We'll be getting a bunch of soul up for when we attack this boss, and then hopefully bully it out of existence. Although 4 hearts is low. I'm a little nervous that this ain't going to work out. But we've got plenty of time, right? We're like on, what, 40 minutes, 45 minutes-ish?
Oh my gosh, you have so much time right now. No worries.
All right, excellent.
You're cooking.
I have room to make mistakes here. All right. You can commentate over this. I'm going to be way distracted. Sorry.
No, yeah, you're good. I didn't want to speak over your.
Oh, you're allowed to. I gave you permission.
Right, cool. No, I just like this boss a lot. I think it's super dynamic. I think there's a lot of stuff going on. We're hopping into phase 2 already. You actually, I didn't even know this phase existed. Half the people when they're playing this game. This is just like basically just dodging horizontally in the second phase. It's not super hard to dodge. It's just making sure you're going left and right. These little like orange, things that can hit you, these little orbs are the main thing to dodge because they're actually like honing in on you. But really nice job. Nice job. Starting out with 4 health. Not bad.
I even got God Tuner, which I don't know what that does, but I'm sure it does something super important. Also, yeah, so if the chest lands on you, the bottom of it doesn't have collision, so you can't get stuck doing that. So that's fun. All right, and then there's a couple of other checks that we can do over here on this side, and then we'll regroup and see exactly what we're looking for here. Yeah, so a funny thing is that often when you are needing a way to do a Desolate Dive, there's a little one of these statues that you can pick up soul off of. So thankfully, even though I just finished the boss battle, we'll be through here shortly. Oh, I missed the chest that was up there.
I also did want to say something. Someone in the chat says it's funny to see that fight with Dark Shriek because you would never have that at that point.
Absolutely not.
It's very funny to like see unintended like attacks against a boss you were absolutely not supposed to use against it. So I love that call.
Yeah. Use all the tools that you can whenever you have access to them. Yeah, Rando is really funny like that. Sometimes for much more limited, Unbreakable Greed for 0 is definitely fun. We'll definitely pick that one up. Yeah, so now I feel, I've had it equipped this whole time. Well, thank goodness I didn't pass. All right, yeah, so yeah, if I died at any point while having one of the fragile charms up, I would not have that charm anymore, or at least I would have to talk to Leggear in order to have it be repaired. All right, we're gonna go fight Watcher fights. I think I'm more or less in the position to do this. I don't have Shaman Stone because Shaman Stone takes up 4 charm notches, and I just ain't got that. But I do have Descending Dark, I don't have nail upgrades. You know what? I'm going to rethink this for just a second.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. You could do it without it. Come on.
Yeah, I could. I'm going to make sure we have plenty of time, so I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to be caught with my pants down in that fight.
Might be a good.
Yeah.
Oh, go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
This is a mercy kill. Like, even if for some reason you needed more time, it's cool. Like, don't worry about it. You got this.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'll keep it safe. Yeah, so we'll do the nail upgrades here, and I definitely have enough geo to do this. I checked that I had like enough pale ore to do this far and away, so that's going to be fine. So I just need to get over there, and because I have Mantis Claw and I have Crystal Heart, we can do a little bit of a thing. Oh, I can't. Hold on. Wait. I'm gonna try to use this guy. Nope.
No way. Oh, that would have been so sick.
All right. Yeah, if you can make it up to that upper area, you can Crystal Heart over. I think I'm too low if I don't make it past that lip, although it's been a while since I've tried. And then,
there's a ton of that like enemy boosting in the Silk Song speedrun that's like, bounce off this enemy to get like a 30-second skip or whatever, Yeah.
There's one at the very beginning of this game, if I remember correctly. That it's one of the first things that you do. Thankfully, we haven't had the need to do it, but if we have to, they tend to be relatively easy. There's also shade skips. I don't know if you've seen any of the shade skips that are available in this game. Essentially, when you die, you create like a corpse version of yourself that you have to fight in order to regain all of your geo off of it. And it is a physical object that you can pogo off of, so in some places you die intentionally and you literally use it to pogo from point A to point B. Tends to be much more useful when you don't have access to things like dash, etc. But sometimes I do have to use it in order to get access to certain checks. All right, we can definitely Crystal Heart our way back. Oh wait, I don't need to. Give me just a second. I'm just gonna use the bench warp. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, and then yeah, with triple nail upgrade, this should be a piece of cake. Watch me not do this as a piece of cake, but I definitely will. I definitely will. All right, so up here, where am I? There we go. Yeah, I don't know that movement super well. It's not that difficult of geometry that you're having to work with in the blind like that, but it is not visible. All right. Okay. So the deal with Watcher Knights. You want to explain what's up with Watcher Knight before we get there?
Oh man. Yes, I can try my best. But yeah, so right. So I mean, when you get in there, there's like a swarm of like flies that comes in, and like you have to reanimate the Watcher Knights to defend Lurian Seal, and the flies within it escape the room, and they split apart. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, really. And we're using our Dream Nail like we got before with our Essence to kind of activate this here. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah. We're in.
Yeah. So the worst part of Watcher Knight is that after the first one, they come in twos. So, no.
I really liked this fight. I think like it's just a lot of like, it's really just avoiding the rolling, honestly. So as long as you can time your jumps pretty well, I feel like it's not too bad.
Yep. I don't have Monarch Wings, so it is a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult. Yeah, so just kind of avoiding these rolling, and it's sometimes hard to tell if they're going to jump or not. I think there's upwards of like 3 that can maybe be on the screen at once in this segment.
Just 2, thankfully.
Just 2. I swear I maybe had 3, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, like this fight specifically, it made me so frustrated. This is one of the harder, like, I almost think of it as like a gauntlet, kind of. It's a really tough gauntlet. Reminds me of like a Silk Song kind of one where it's like really big enemies. If you've played through Silk Song, there's a couple of these really wild gauntlets that have really large enemies you have to dodge. So really nice job.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was a pretty quick fight, actually.
Yes. It either goes super well or I have to try it a bunch of times in a row. I tend to play Watcher Knight very aggressively, for better or for worse. So either I win fast or I lose fast. Also, we don't need this elevator; it's low.
Very nice.
Hey, I just wanted to share this with everyone too, by the way, real quick. First of all, I want to thank Ellie and Bobby for being here tonight, for sharing your time, sharing your passion with us. We'll talk about this a little more during Blueprints as well. I also want to take the time to thank everyone lurking and chatting for being here. You know, if you're just listening and being here, I know, we're getting towards the end of the year. Days are getting a little darker, a little colder. I just want to say thank you for taking the time and just being here and having a good time with us. It doesn't matter how you interact with us. If you're just being here and listening, just want to say again on behalf of GDQ here, thanks for hanging out. We wouldn't be here without y'all. So thank you so much. And again, excellent gameplay here, Gully. I'm really enjoying this.
Glad to hear it. Okay, so I've got plenty of room. Now I have a bunch of 0 charms that I almost don't know what to do with. I've had High Blood this whole time and I forgot to equip it even. Yeah, each of these charms do something, High Blood essentially lets you regenerate health over time. I just equipped a Stalwart Shell, which makes it, I believe that you escape a little bit more unscathed if you're in high. Oh, well, there it is. We're going. There's Distant Village Stag. So
there it is.
I'm going to have to do this one, which is one of the easier ones, but I'm also terrible at it. So, it is okay. All right. So you have to do pogoing off of each of these little goofuses. I do have... trying to not get bodied by that guy. Oh, that's right. I have nail upgrade. Oh, for the record, I have collected a Dreamer at this point, and I don't know if it's a QOL thing or a rando thing or what have you, but now I have infected Crossroads, so I'm going to try my best to not hang out at Crossroads until absolutely necessary. You know what's up with infected Crossroads, right?
Yes, I do. It makes it a lot hard. It makes it a lot harder to just get anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just makes that whole area just full of like this like orangey goop and stuff. So yeah, try to avoid it as much as we can.
In particular, the enemies are a lot more aggressive and have far more health. And I think the way that you normally end up getting infected Crossroads is slightly different than just getting a Dreamer. I don't know the vanilla conditions for it happening, but I think it's an unwelcome surprise when you do get it. So, oh gosh, I did not mean to go down quite yet.
I was going to say, that it looked like you tried to do that. It was great.
Yeah, that would have been sick, but I need to hit this bench first, and then we'll make our way over. All right. Oh, man. I was wishing I had double jump here, but it's fine that I don't have double jump. It'll make the regular Hollow Knight fight a little bit more interesting because
that's also the opposite of what we were talking about before. It's like having extra stuff for bosses you would normally have. It's like you don't have things that you would normally expect, which is interesting. Like a double jump, right? That's like a given thing you would have at this point, but yeah.
Correct. So I'm just winging it.
Yeah, we are just winging it. We are at this Umu fight. It is a lot of just dodging. A lot of the fights in Hollow Knight just end up being like a lot of like dodging the big boss move kind of thing. It's like with any game, right? But like this fight especially, it's a lot of avoiding the electricity in the air. You get a little bit of help from your little pal here. So it's really just getting underneath, using that ability to blast upward as you're seeing here from Gelly. Yeah. But also kind of using that wall jump. Thankfully, we have that to kind of avoid this electricity as best we can.
All right.
Very nice.
Body. All right, that's the end of that. That was a 2-cycle.
Huge.
I'm pretty happy with that, all things considered. If I had great. Shaman Stone, you can do it in one, but
2-cycle. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if there's like proper cycles to these things, but
see, and here's Kelly saying, I don't know about this, I don't know about that, and then we got the 2-cycle. I know exactly what kind of runner you are.
I'm just trying to make it, just in case something goes wrong.
We all seen this kind of runner, I don't know if we're gonna do that, and then just does this legendary thing,
We're just hanging out.
So, he's cooking.
That's that Dreamer. And then we have Distant Village Stag, which means we are going to do Distant Village. I do have Mantis Claws, so this is something that I can do. If I had double jump, I would be able to skip the entirety of this with a little trick from the starting room. But instead, we are indeed going to have to be captured by the guys here. So I'm going to kindly sit on this bench. I'm going to move around a little bit, and then we're going to wait.
Totally nothing suspicious happening here. This is so
We're fine. We're fine.
The face you have in that room with this mod is so funny. The little woo face smiling as you're getting like basically attacked.
Captured. Yep. funny thing here is that with the random map mod, I can actually open and close the map, and I'm just going to keep moving. I don't think that's intended, for what it's worth. I don't know. I haven't heard hide nor tail of this, to be fair. Rando's not so common of a thing that's run, but I'm sure it would not be allowed in a no major glitches category like this. But hey, we're hanging. All right, so I just got to make my way through here. I don't usually make my way through here because, again, if I have double jump at this point, you can do a trick where you can crystal heart at the very top and do a double jump at the very top, and you can make it up a tunnel that leads to the very end. So like normally, as with most like dungeons, there's something that leads to the very beginning, right? So it goes in a big old loop, and so you can navigate your way out. Because normally you're expected to not be bench warping from point A to point B. You have to like actually leave these areas once you're done with them, and so they give you an easier way out. But you can actually take that way back out instead. But we didn't have to do it. Instead, we're taking our last streamer, and now we're on to the final boss. So we're gonna do that real quick. Actually, what's my time?
No, I knew you were going to ask that. I had a feeling. Looks like almost about 59 minutes at this point. A little over 59.
Yep. We're good. All right. Yeah, we're going to make it under estimate. No problem.
10 minutes ahead. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah.
You say that, and then we were thinking about that with blueprints for SGDQ. It's like these things vary so wildly with any randomizer, right? It's so hard to like nail down a time where it could go really long, it could go really short. You never know, right?
Mm-hmm. You forget I've been doing this for 5-6 years at this point.
Yeah. Not you, Skybills. Maybe the audience.
I've seen it all at this point with what this show can do. All right,
100%. You're the RNG, pillar of the community.
Yeah.
I'm saying
thank you.
Our little non-RNG friends that might be in the audience. Anyway, final boss here.
Yep.
Good luck.
So I've got all the tools necessary. What's going to be difficult here is making it over the boss whenever there's particular attack here. So I'm being a little bit apprehensive, but I do have Descending Dark, and that's going to be the ticket for most of this here. Oh, we're already on to the next stage. Yeah, so there are 4 different times that the boss ends up howling like that. So we're on to kind of the next area of the fight, which looks very similar to the beginning part, but there's also some additional attacks that are included. And then I'm just going to bully here. All right, great. So now we're just going to lay as much damage as we can.
This was known as the healing part of the fight for me.
We don't have time to heal. I mean, actually, strictly speaking, we do have time to heal, but like, look at how many hearts I've got. I think I'll be fine without them. All right. And then because I unequipped Void Heart, we don't have to deal. No, I do have to deal with Silk Song reference. All right, I'm just gonna not engage with this. Normally, you have to Dream Nail that for the true ending part of the game. Loses a little bit of time. We'll be fine. And then that should be it. All right, so time is gonna end when we enter the final cutscene here, and I'll announce that when it happens. So be ready in like 20-ish seconds, I think. I'm absorbing the soul from the final Hollow Knight, and additional lore happens. And time. GG's. That was fun.
Wow.
What were we looking at the final time there?
Oh, okay. I'm waiting for it to catch up here just to make sure I have a confirmation. Looks like 101:33. So, wow.
Yep.
GG.
We're doing very good there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, that was awesome. Just some quick shout outs to the folks who are inspirational for me doing Hollow Knight. Sentinel Proxima is the person who's teaching me Hollow Knight as a part of Speedrunner. So I thank them above all else for being able to set me up with all of these mods and rando, and I greatly appreciate them. But there's also quite a few of my friends who I play Archipelago with, Ferris, Knight, Quint, Kenny, a bunch of friends of mine who actually work very actively on Archipelago, so I was able to do some Hollow Knight practice with them just sort of incidentally as well. So I'm very thankful to all those people for Hollow Knight. And of course, many thanks to Bobby for commentating Hollow Knight as someone who hasn't seen me run this before in the blind. I greatly appreciate it. And of course, thank you very much, Sky, for allowing me on here as well. So.
Oh, of course. I mean, you're gonna be back here right after our break too. Yeah. And Bobby, no offense, but I feel like you got your work cut out for you here. Gelly here is quite the gamer.
I know. I respectfully, he is cooking constantly. Is a good gamer. I don't know what else to say. He's just good at games.
Very good at games. Yeah. So for folks who don't know, and we'll talk about this a little bit more after the break too. Bobby, you may have heard Bobby's voice before. Bobby is from our lovely interview team at GDQ. So we'll talk a little bit more about that too. Gelly, when we get back, I would also like to hear more about your stream and what you do during the next thing as well. We're going to have a lot more rambling here between friends. Welcome back to Random Number Generation. I'm joined here by Gelly and Bobby Burham, and this is Blueprints. And welcome back, which, by the way, it took me forever to realize that Blueprints was Blueprints. I know. I should have known, like, Blueprints.
Sky.
Like, I know. I'm terrible like that, right? I can get boos. I can get eye rolls. It's okay. But anyways, so yes, this is one of them games. I don't get to have games released from this year often. So, okay, Foam Finger, which I'm seeing Bobby now kind of raising to his face there.
Yeah.
Would you all like to talk about this? It's all yours.
Oh, yeah. We had these custom made for SGDQ. It was awesome. So anyway, Blueprints, Bequest Bingo. Blueprints is a puzzle story roguelike is the best way I can describe it. It basically, every day throughout this game, you unlock new things, new puzzles, new orientations of a manor that we're going to be walking through. And you'll notice in the middle of our screen, you'll see a vertical kind of, setup. That's going to be our 9x5 bingo board. If anyone else has seen a 9x5 bingo board in any other game, I need you to tell me, because that would be the shock of all time. What Gelly and I will be doing is we are going to have a 9x5 bingo board that is the same as the video game. And so in the game, we have a 9x5 manor. And so the goal is to make a path with bingo squares in a similar way to what we would do to the entrance hall, to the antechamber in the video game, but in a bingo board. What did I miss there, Gelly? What else?
No, that's about it. The conditions get harder as you get from bottom to top. We'll talk about the conditions that we're looking at as we get on, but I think we're probably approximately ready to go, you figure, huh?
I think so, too. So, too. Should we do a countdown, then? We'll count a countdown from 5. Yep. Cool. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck.
Right. I'm revealing the bingo board. Does that look good?
Looks good to me.
That does look good. All right. So we have this introductory cutscene of about 3.5 minutes in order to take a look at these 90 squares on the board. And so we'll spend all of that time doing so. So I'll talk a little bit in depth about how I would be approaching this board and how I will be approaching this board. And Bobby will simply steal my strategy and beat me out. But I'm not gonna fault him for it. So for the record, Bobby has the color blue as he did in GDQ, and I, not being the one who wants to get in the way of Rad being red, I will be Gelly for green. I am the green prince now. So. We will see both of our conditions on the board here as we're filling these out. And so we're looking to draw this path from bottom to top. In my experience, what's most important is getting the best understanding of the very difficult conditions that gate out the goal and figuring out which ones are most doable to do and which ones are going to be lucky to accidentally trip into, depending. And then we're going to work our way down and attempt to look at that. So, for example, when I look at this, I see gain chest power, add 4 new floor plans into 10 grid. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Those may be the hardest, very hard conditions. These 3 that gate out the goal are far and away the hardest conditions that we have to work with. If you haven't played Blueprints before, this is going to be a lot of unfamiliar terminology. I'll do my best. Gaining chest power, big spoilers. Essentially what that's going to require is unlocking the chess area and drafting very particular rooms on the manor in order to get that chest power up. I have spent a lot of my experience attempting to do that within 10 minutes as a part of what's called throne percent categories. It is very inconsistent, so I cannot depend on gaining chest power. Adding 4 new floor plans. Floor plans are things that you can add as a part of things that you can build out your manor with. You get a starting deck that you can work with, and you can try to build it up with rooms that you quite like, but you have to find them. There's a bunch of really easy ones: planetarium, conservatory, closed exhibit is a close third, and then the fourth one tends to be very difficult. Either that's going to be drafting studio. If you get burning glass, you can pick up tunnel. If you end up getting power hammer, you can get lost and found, but that fourth one is going to be the stickler. So I'm never going to want to depend on that one either. The last thing is attending grade 5, and that is a bugbear. Attending grade 5 is what's required there is that you have to draft Schoolhouse, which adds 8 classrooms to your deck. But the problem is that the mechanics in the game hide how many classrooms that you have access to. And so you actually only start with like 2, and then the more that you draft, the more that it slowly feeds in classrooms so that you're not drowned in them, which makes it difficult to draft 5 of them in the duration of a day. So that's the one that I'm going to try to depend on because I know the mechanics for this one best, but I cannot say that's going to be reliable. From here, I'm probably going to attempt to go around here because getting 12 keys is difficult, and then I think we're just going to swing it. Both of us are going to be attempting the same start, which is getting the west gate open on day 1, and then from there, we'll just have to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, it's going to be, this is going to be an interesting one. Also answering something in chat, we are on the same seed. So yes, we are both looking at the same board. We are sharing Gelly's screen, but we are looking at the same 9x5 board, correct?
The game itself, Blueprints, does not have seating yet. So at the moment, we may have different layouts, but the board is the same. Good luck.
All right, we're off to the races. Gelly, what's your favorite direction?
Bro, I'm busy. Right, I guess.
He said, I'm trying to take out my competitor, baby. Can you really blame me?
I guess we're going right. So the way that I'm trying to start is that I'm building out the right side of my manor in order to get a bevy of resources in order to build up security, and then attempting to get the utility closet, which tends to pop up relatively early in order to have power provided to the garage, and garage is the one way legitimately that we're going to have access to the west gate. So that's going to be important above all else. A west gate is super important because it unlocks access to a bunch of different outer rooms, some of which may be more important than others as we look through the conditions on the board here. Okay, so that's going to be...
I will say I got the utility closet, and the utility closet does give us a permanent unlock here in the mine. So you do a specific combo here on my screen in order to unlock this. You'll see it on screen right now, and that gives me a permanent unlock in 2 gems every day that I start from here forward. And so that's a pretty big thing to get right away on day 1 to ensure you have that boon the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm. As well, that utility closet is going to allow him to power up the garage, unpower the gymnasium, and then the dark room is kind of up to him. The power access that you get as a part of that is quite a nice advantage that you can get here. For my part, I am not apparently getting the utility closet, which hopefully is not a harbinger of bad news, but we'll see. The garage is relatively consistent to get access to because the game is strongly incentivized to give you access to garage as much as it possibly can. Both of us have V mode at the moment. V mode is a mechanic where the game knows that you are a expert player, veteran mode player by the fact that you draft 3 rooms within 35 seconds, or I think it's like 4 rooms within 45 seconds or 5 rooms within 60 seconds. And so now we basically have a slight advantage because the game wants to be able to give us the capability to do day 1 runs, aka be able to get to room 46 within a single day. For luck's sake, you really need like a major push from the game in order to even have a striking shot at being able to do that. And so the game does that, right? And so we're basically using that advantage without necessarily wanting to finish for room 46, although it might be a nice advantage depending on the conditions on this board here. Your turn, Bobby.
I'm doing math at the moment, sorry. I did get secret garden key immediately though, which is very cool. Very, very cool. Very lucky. So I just did my first billiard room. I believe that's one of the things. Or we have 3 parlors, I think was one of the things that we want here. 3 parlors. I don't think we have the other one, do we? We don't have...
I don't see dartboards for my part, but okay, gotcha. I'm not going to help you. Sorry.
I'm gonna wait. I usually don't wait for these, but I do need the gems in case we get a good room to get out of here. And I think I'm actually screwed already. Oh no, I'm not. I think I have a way out of this. I'm gonna do this.
That's quitter talk.
I don't. No, I do, because I have security turned off, so I can go through the security door. Otherwise, I would have been blocked here. Okay. I'm also gonna take the drawing room here because also spoilers in case you don't want, reveals for red letters, I guess.
Oh, we're far beyond, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're beyond that, I suppose. You're watching a speed run of it, so.
Yeah. For my part, I definitely just got Utility Closet and Gem Cavern. So I'm probably a little bit behind, but I do have a lot of things set up. And in fact, I actually have a treasure map that I have access to, and I picked up a shovel inside of a storeroom.
Kelly,
so I'm about to get a bucket full of resources. Now, depending on what those resources are, I may either be pretty thrilled or not so thrilled. This is not an experience you usually get in a bingo game here, so this will be fun.
Kelly, I need to interrupt you.
Let's see what I get as a part of my coffers of St. Mount Holly. I don't remember the exact name. It'll show up here real shortly here. Please be like 40 coins. That'd be really funny.
Kelly, can you hear me? Hello.
I don't know what I'm looking for. Sometimes there's a 40 coins condition, but
okay.
This one is 20 coins and 3 gems, it looks like.
Oh, I just realized I've been muted on Discord. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Oh,
No, I heard you.
Oh, weird. Okay, I was muted on Discord. I'm so sorry. The Red Prince. There was a Red Prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown made of rubies and a red castle made of stone. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. He could not stand the sight of a canary or a crow. He could not stand the white of a swan in the snow. And he never looked up for the fear of the view. He had heard that the sky was not a red hue. So he always had a book to turn his eyes down if he was ever outside when the clouds weren't around. And do you know which book the prince always had? The one that made him happy whenever he was sad? A story he had in the bed in the bath. Maybe you can guess with the clues that we have said. It was the story of a boy who also wore red, and he looked like our prince from his toes to his head. And as you, my reader, might already assume, this book is quite near you, in fact, in the same room. A story about you, if it needs to be said, about a red prince and his book, the red book we just read. And that, my friends, was a condition. So, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was muted on Discord. That's my bad.
Is Red Prince on here? I don't even see it. I mean, like, hats off to you.
Bottom right.
Bottom right. I don't have Westgate at the moment. Oh, yeah. Oh, we do have 2 dartboards for what it's worth. It's at the very bottom.
We do, yeah.
Yeah. One of the interesting things about the geometry of having to go from the start to the goal is that the thing that you want to do going from the bottom directly to the top tends to be the thing that you want to do anyway. So you would tend to ignore the conditions that are near the very bottom. Those are set to being easier. So like reading the Red Prince isn't a particularly difficult condition. I mean, shout outs to him for having the narrative and the chutzpah in order to put it together. But usually you just need to draft the nursery and that's that. So those tend to be relatively easier conditions, whereas I'm still fighting for my life trying to figure out how I'm going to attend grade 5, dude. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm struggling to try to even get garage at this point. I might have just gotten it. I have an open door here. I'm hoping to get it right here. So we have a chance. Oh my gosh, the first time I could have gotten it, I didn't get it. That's wild. All right, well, we'll go walk-in closet, I guess. That's brutal.
Yeah.
I got shut out of the garage.
Yeah. Finding a special key, ending with a live animal. So I'm probably looking to run up about the same side that Bobby's running up here, reading the Red Prince. I don't want to have to do that because y'all did just have to endure that, but you know, if I find it, you know, it is what it is. I might get to rank 9 incidentally. I don't know how important that is. I am ignoring a bunch of resources here. Okay, we can make it to rank 9. Okay, yeah, actually this is good. So I've already solved the parlor, which is column 4, row 2 on this board. So it's like this one right here. I'm able to point out the board because I have it. Reaching rank 9, which is something that I've just done, is the one that's right above it. So that puts me in a really good position in order to basically take this side.
Very nice.
So that's probably what I'm aiming to do. The thing that I would like to do is get a workshop so that I'm able to do that Shandango, but there's no promises that that's going to come to fruition either. Because making a contraption is a very difficult thing to do. We'd like to have contraptions because contraptions are ways that you can manipulate the items that you have in your general inventory together. So for example, the metal detector that I have that is currently going off because I forgot to pick up an item before going into a terminal is good for being able to find incidental keys, incidental coins. And then shovel allows you to dig up items, right? As we've seen before. But the combination of the two, the detector shovel, is slightly more powerful than the combination of both, but it requires me to get a workshop. So like I'm in the position of doing that, but I need to find a very precise particular room to draft right about here, which it's pretty unlikely that I'm getting there, but we're going to like cross our fingers and see if we can get there.
I finally got the garage, by the way. Thank God.
Oh, very nice.
Oh my gosh, it was so close.
All right. I've had the garage for a while now, but I've been delaying that for not to show off or anything, but like I'm cooler and better and smarter. And
I'm just so cool. I'm just so cool.
I'm so cool for being lucky. So we're just gonna hit that up now. I'm so fun or maybe not so fun thing is that I'm starting to run out of steps at this moment, which may or may not cause issues for me trying to do the rest of what I'm doing here. If I run out of steps, I'm kind of in trouble, because that means I won't be able to do the every time that you go from one room to another, you lose a step. It's one of those resources that you have that you can kind of top up with various rooms that you can draft, such as the guest bedroom. But if you run out of steps, your character Simon is too tired to continue, and thus he falls asleep, and that's that. So I'm having to do a little bit of step management here. I think we're good, but there's no promises on that one. Oh, I've got 30 coins. Oh, buddy.
There you go.
All right, we're good there too. All right, yeah.
I'm finally out the garage. I'm going to go to my outer rooms. I'm probably just going to go tackle the Orchard Gate and the West Gate. Two really reliable things that you can actually, get bonuses right away. The other thing I'm thinking about, I don't know if you talked about this yet, is the 4 flames. Getting the 4 flames is really important to even have a chance at the chest power. So getting that as quick as possible is pretty important as well. So because like even if you have all of the rooms for a chest power, you still want to make sure you have all of the flames lit up to even activate the chest power anyway. And so as soon as you can get those flames is really beneficial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes you explicitly get that condition of light 4 blue flames. I don't see it here. There's also another one that's kind of incidental to that, which is use an elevator. There's 3 different elevators that exist in the game that you can have access to, and that's the easiest, most consistent of them to pick up. I don't see that on here either, but that would be the way that you would want to do that. But the third thing that it's used for, the blue flames, is to gain that chest power up. That's really the only way that you can do that. Oh, did we just do this at the same? Are we like on same base?
Are we brother? Did we become best friends?
Are we synced? Yeah, all right.
I believe we call that a high five.
Oh, very nice.
True.
Yeah, heck yeah. I would never high five him, but metaphorically.
Okay, rude. Okay, a little competitive spirit, I see.
There's no spirit here. This is just bloodlust.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm serious.
All right. No.
Anyway, one thing I will say is I will probably need to make 2 trips over here because I am going to do the 2 permanent unlocks over here. I'm going to do the flames as well as the gate, but then I will also want to come back over here for the additional floor plan over here as well. So I will probably have to make 2 trips, but it's worth it for the steps in my eyes.
Yes. Yeah. Opening the Orchard Gate gives you an additional 20 steps to begin every day with. And so you go from 50 to 70, which is a massive difference maker in a bingo setting like this. So like it's worth picking this up regardless of what like picking up the open Orchard Gate condition means to you. But also it gives you open Orchard Gate. It also gives you one of the blue flames. And also while you're incidentally over here, the conservatory floor plan is hidden in a particular place that usually takes a little bit more of an involved riddle to get through, but spoilers, we're going to dig between 2 white stones. So I'll be doing that shortly, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
I do not have
First of all, big thank you to Tech, by the way. We have everything squared away now with the bingo boards. It looks good.
Great.
Okay. All right, excellent. Yeah, I will say the operation of how we're doing the bingo boards here is possibly non-standard. We are using Bingo Sync for this. Shout outs to Bingo Sync. We are using 2 boards to do this. So I've currently got Bingo open in Google Chrome and Bingo open in Firefox. I'm sure this is not the most efficient way to do this, but it is the way that I know how to stream with it. So Shout outs to Tech for figuring out how to make sure that looks good.
Thank you all.
Yeah, big shout outs to Richard. Big shout outs to our tech checkers as well. Just thank you to Tech all around here at GDQ. Just wonderful group of folks that work behind the scenes here. Always want to thank. Without them, we would not have Hotfix. We would not have our events. So thank you so much again to folks working Tech. We love y'all.
We get some clappies in the chat for that. Some claps of any emotes. That'd be great.
Yeah. So what do you think so far of the bingo board? So again, y'all said there were no seeds. I can't say, I have to resist saying the seed thing because that's, RNG lingo.
Well,
what do you think so far?
We can seed the board, that's about it, but we can't seed anything in regards to the game. But I think this board is very doable. I think we're both doing pretty good so far. I think this is pretty standard for a kickoff. I don't know, what do you think, Kelly?
What's the time? I usually know by time.
About 17 and a half right now.
Okay. I have more conditions than I'd expected about this time.
Yeah.
So
That's how
we're
we
doing
have.
Good on pace.
We have extra time because Gally went so fast, so it's okay. It's okay. No worries.
I can slow down.
I will say I did just get the 4 flames, which is very lucky.
Wow.
So, yeah, I know. So there is a chance if I do get like a study and I do get ladyships or whatever office, that kind of thing, I could potentially get the chest power now that is open. So it is a consideration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very difficult to actually do that consistently.
True.
But like, again, if he can get it, that's very good. Very good. I'm pretty sure I've just dug 10 times in a day.
Nice.
I have plenty of money. I just cannot use any of
what
this
to
money.
do with money.
Yeah, so it's funny. Money is one of those resources that I just do not know how to use for the life of me. I tend to find, even in like casual play, that it is extraordinarily difficult to hang on to money without a lot of work in advance for it. And when you do actually get a lot of money, sometimes it's just really hard to make use of. So I think I've got a commissary on field somewhere, but I do have 5 steps at the moment. So I'm kind of fighting for my life a little bit here. I'm actually going to dig this up. All right. I don't think I've managed to dig up nothing at this point. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. So one of the things that I'm keeping sight on at the moment is view stamps in the library. That should be an easy enough condition to hit, provided I can make it back to the entrance hall with a magnifying glass. I think I have just too few steps to make the... Oh, I bought a sleeping mask. We're popping off. All right, excellent. So step 1 of this is that I have to look at this stamp for 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4.
An official 5 seconds.
Then, yeah, more
Wait
or
a
less 5
second.
seconds.
Why? What? All right, so... First off, I have a that is some Nintendo Power level BS. Certified level Nintendo Power BS TM, all right?
So to be fair, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Tonda. I have to. I know him. Is that the expectation is that you're supposed to be looking at these stamps to look at like the actual contents for the very first time. So for example, that Mora Jai ship is kind of plot relevant and it happens to matter for a variety of reasons. So like the expectation is that you're looking at it for at least like 5 seconds for the game to recognize, oh, okay, you've looked at this stamp and you might want to look at it another day. So that's the whole point of the stamp system, is that you look at it with a magnifying glass and then it registers that it is a stamp that you can look at. However, as speedrunners, we tended to just kind of flash the magnifying glass over it and then we got no hits. So it was like, well, what do we do here? And someone, I believe it was Amaranth, shout outs to Amaranth, figured out that you have to hold it for about 5 seconds. Actually, it might have been Pickled Human. There's quite a few people who have worked on Blueprints tech in the meantime. Shout outs to them.
Well, who just keeps a magnifying glass over something for 5 seconds, though?
You don't?
Like, even casually. Who does that Who does it unprompted, you know?
Did you ever take a magnifying glass and try to make, like, a flame out of it? You ever do that as a kid?
Yeah, but that's in, like, real life. That's in, like, real life again. This is a video game. You don't just take something and hover it over something for 5 seconds. You just don't.
So the game is kind in that it indicates to you that you should, like whenever you're looking at a note, it gives you the magnifying glass to hold over it. It's not like in a point and click game where it's like use magnifying glass on note. It like tells you, yeah, you should probably look at that in more detail. I'll still defend the 5 seconds thing because like at the bare minimum, like if you're given a magnifying glass, you're gonna like pretend to be a detective, and you'll be like, "There's a clue here," and I feel like that's gonna last at least 5 seconds at the very least.
This isn't Blue's Clues where we're looking at the blue paw print on the screen for 5 seconds, and Steve's like, "Oh, what was that on the screen?" And all the kids are like, "It's that clue, it's that clue." No, it's not like that. It's like, "Oh, here's the thing, cool," like.
I don't know. That sounds sad to me. That's exactly what I would do. You rotated a room already. Is that going to be blessing
I did
the
happen to get a what do you call it?
Shrine?
No, I got a what do you call it? A rotunda.
You got a rotunda?
I know. I got lucky.
Oh my god!
And I also bought a special key.
Oh my gosh! All right.
But I also
that's the thing. Like, there are games out there called rage games that I don't rage much at. There's like this calm, serene puzzle game, and here I am raging at it as if it is one of those rage games. Like, that's me.
I think I have never known people to be so frustrated as they have over blueprints. It's true. I will say to the people who know, I have spent literally 30 minutes in the den being frustrated at a single puzzle. For the roommate enjoyers out there, I just ended this manor on 9 rooms. That is terrible. So we're going on to day 3 personally. I don't know, Bobby, how is your progress looking like? You're looking like
it's looking okay. I just had a really bad day. I just had a really bad day. No, I had not a great day. I got a lot of like weird things. I got like rotate a room. I got buy a special key, but I ran out of doors to use them for. So, yeah, so that's kind of where I was at there. So I need to start developing more things. I think I need to get more floor plans. I need a shovel, to be honest. Those kinds of things.
I mean, the expectation with blueprints as often just happens to be like you either get it or you don't. And so if you're targeting for something in particular, it's very difficult because the game is just like, nah, I'm just not going to give it to you. And so you spend like 30 days attempting to do exactly one thing. That is the thing that you're not supposed to do. What you're supposed to have is like 30 different conditions all happening at once that are kind of relatively rare. And you just so happen to hit one of them each a day, right? So, targeting 4 conditions is very difficult in my experience. Some of these conditions that we're looking at on the board are cumulative. So, for example, I've just solved my 3rd parlor, so I'm good to go there, right? And parlors are relatively quick to draft. They're relatively easy to solve, and they're something reliable that you can work on. So I'm very happy to hit a condition like that. In contrast to that, I would say that like rotating a room either happens or it doesn't. You can force rotating a room, but what it requires is you to get a shrine, which is one of the rarer outer rooms that you can get access to, paying $1 for a blessing that frankly is very kind of bad, and then basically wasting a gem on rotating a room that you probably wouldn't have rotated anyway. So there's a push and pull over like what can be reasonable in terms of some of these conditions, some of them being cumulative, some of them not so much.
Yeah, some of them you have to like happen upon, which is like good and bad in some ways, right? You could just get really lucky. Like, for example, I got the rotunda, which means I just get the rotator room, right?
Yeah.
Not always as lucky, though.
Am I on 5 stars? No, we're on 4 stars. All right, I'm kind of close on that one. I'm building up what I would consider a strange pattern. I'm basically getting nowhere. I could have sworn I would have dug up nothing at some point, but I don't remember doing it. So I currently don't have a connection to realistically the other mass that I'm looking at here. So I'm kind of shimmying on there. But in the meantime, I've got like a pretty strong branching out pattern that I'm working with here where I can go pretty much any direction that I would really want to. And so I'm not too dismayed over it. But I'm probably going to be targeting drafting 6 green rooms in a day because that's a consistent thing that I can do, which it's hard to say. Drafting 6 green rooms, which is this condition here, leads directly to add 4 new floor plans, which I cannot hopefully even imagine depending on in any capacity. Again, like I mentioned at the very beginning, that's something that I would like to have, but I cannot expect it. So I may have to go up that way and then like go all the way around to attend grade 5 if that's the consistent. Whoopsie daisy. I bingus the bangus. That is my deepest apology. That should be fixed. All right, excellent. All right.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
At this point, I'm just trying to get some good setup for outer rooms and just trying to develop a day, really. sometimes you just need to start getting a better day, frankly, and so you just need to kind of look to try to get later on in the house, start to develop, you know, some later rooms, try to get the rooms that you need, right? Because a lot of times, like we were talking about before, you just need to like get some of the rooms that you need. For example, like end in a room with a live animal, right? You just need a room with a live animal. So just having a long enough day where you can generate like, you know, like 30, 40 rooms is going to be key.
So I just got the boiler. I'm going to talk about that for a second because it is an interesting room to come up here. The boiler can sometimes just never show up because it is an unusual room, and so there's no expectation that it will come up. But when it does come up, usually you don't want to have it because it doesn't do a lot for you. Realistically, the only thing that you would care about is getting Blackbridge. And Blackbridge is a good thing to have, but normally something that it's very difficult to use in a bingo setting because most of these bingo conditions are designed in such a way where someone could reasonably get it in the constraints of about 90 minutes, right? So boiler is too inconsistent, and so none of these conditions depend on it. Except for, at the very middle of the board, you may see trigger experiment 4X. If I have Blackbridge, I can set up a laboratory experiment every single day. And so I'm hoping, although I'm not expecting, that if I can draft laboratory off of this boiler or any way to get powered laboratory off of first try.
No way you got that. No way.
So I get to set up Blackbridge, which allows me to, provided I have any terminal, access the laboratory every day that I want to, and that will let me set up experiments that I can trigger any day that I want to. So that trigger 4X experiments has gone from like relatively unlikely moonshot to being something that I can consistently force. And I will begin that by doing an immediately, I think I do it immediately. Actually, I might draft a red room and gain a key for every 2 hallways in the house. I think that's a pretty good one. Going to require me to draft a bunch of red rooms in order to make this work, which may come at the entire cost of the day. But here's one of them. This is a weight room, and so I've lost like half of my steps. But on the flip side, that is experiment number 1, and that's what I care about above pretty much all else.
Do I care about digging 8 dirt piles in the cloister or getting more luck in my cloister? I feel like I got an upgrade. I almost feel like I want to do the dig spots because that's actually more helpful for me.
Yeah, big 10x is one of the key spots.
Yeah, so that's a big
board.
one. Yeah.
I'll take archives here. That's my second experiment.
I'm also going to do, and I'm going to try to get a bunch of letters in one day if I can. I did just get the office, so that's really exciting. So we're going to pray we can get the chess power. That would be amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So the most difficult part of the chess power up in my experience tends to be getting the queen piece. The king piece, which is the office, is a standard corner room that costs 2 gems. That's difficult enough on its own, but you can get it. The queen piece is either Her Ladyship's Chamber, which is a hard thing to hit. It's
very difficult.
Or you get the study, which is an unusual room that just doesn't like to show up. So it's a big old game of can he consistently get the Her Ladyship's Chamber, right. And yeah, I would love to be stenanked by you managing to acquire that, but I'm not expecting
that would be amazing. I feel like I get really unlucky with the chess power, but I'm hoping I can get a solid run with the chess power. That would make my entire day. Because I almost never get it, so it'd be very cool to get it.
Okay, I think I'm out of rooms to draft. Other than that.
I'm actually able to develop a somewhat decent day here, which is really nice. I've been kind of like getting blocked on a lot of days here. So this is making me very excited that I can actually do this. I'm actually going to grab the boudoir here because for another letter, because I think I'm on 2 letters now in a day, so I'm trying to also get that if I can. Not a requirement, but it also gives me a gem in here. I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but all of the safes do have a gem in them, so I am looking for those additional boons as well as I'm going through the house, as well as just getting the letters right, because that's one of our conditions, which is 4 letters in a day, or 4 safes in a day rather, excuse me.
4 safes in a day is really tough though.
Yeah.
Office gets you a lot of the way there, but I think you need to have like at a minimum shelter or study in order to make that work, but I could be wrong.
I'm looking for study, to be clear.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, study again. Ooh. Study on its own is also a very good room because it lets you use gems as dice. One of the interesting consistency measures in this game is that with a draft, you're given 3 rooms, and there's a whole list of rules that we do understand how the drafting mechanics work, like on a very intimate code-based level. And sometimes the game will just like refuse to give you anything nice. So sometimes you do have to re-roll or use dice as the main item that you would be able to do that with. But if you have something like a study, you can use your gems instead to do that re-rolling instead. And gems come along a lot more frequently than dice tend to. So if you can get the study, not only do you get a queen piece, but also you get a massive consistency boost.
I was trying to go for a free cloister, but I did actually just get a fishery. So
I got a free aquarium as well.
Did you really?
Just a second ago.
Oh man.
Yeah. I'm looking at drafting 6 green rooms in a day if I can swing that, because I think that's a really good thing to hit if you can swing it. But it really is. You draft green room or greenhouse or you don't. Okay, that's 5 stars.
And then there. Weight room doesn't have a piece, does it? I don't think it does.
A piece of
for the chest power. I don't think it does.
No, it does not. If it did, it's probably a pawn. It's not something of relevance.
Yeah. I was trying to remember. I could not remember for the life of me. Okay.
All right. I'm working on my 4th experiment here. I'm hoping immediately is the condition so that I can just be done with it. Great. Immediately gain 1 key for every 2 hallways in my house. That might be it, I think. That might just give me 1 key, but like I'd prefer to have 1 key consistently. That's a 4th experiment to hit, so we're good there. I really want to have greenhouse. If I can get greenhouse, that puts me in a really good position for the rest of the game here.
I'm gonna go steps here.
It is not greenhouse. That is cringe. Okay, we're going to take the mage chamber.
I'm in a weird spot. No, we're both kind of like figuring out what to do here. I'm in a really tough spot where I'm like, I have a really good day. I just don't know what to do with it now. Like, like I'm trying to figure out what I want to do the most. And I'm not exactly sure, to be honest.
Right. And this can happen. I mean, it happens a lot, to be honest, where it's like, man, this is a really good casual day. Right. And then it's like, but that's not an architect's house. What do I do with this?
I know, I'm saying. It's such a strange, and I'm blocked out. So it's like a weird day again. Mm-hmm. I also did spread, keys throughout my house, so I could go look for those. But like I will need to open 5 lockers to have that be applicable, and that's not super easy. But I could go try to look for those keys. There's one here, for example.
Okay. You don't have a conference room?
I don't have the conference room. I had the option to take it, and I said no to it like a silly person.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I know. I said no.
It happens.
Yeah. I might just like look for it to try to get that, though. So we'll find out. We'll see. It would take a while, though.
EPCW pump system. I don't.
Oh, you're in the pump room.
Well, I was in the library actually. So here's an example of what the study looks like. So I'm currently in the study. This is a big deal because I'm not going to get chest power up. I'm not depending on chest power up. What I am depending on is the fact that I can get closed exhibit as my 3rd additional floor plan. So we're already doing really good there. There's a not so impossible chance that I literally take the straight shot up from bottom to top, which would be quite fast.
Wow.
But it again is depending on drafting something like a drafting studio or getting the pieces of the puzzle to. There's just a lot that needs to go right, and there's plenty more that can go wrong. So I'm not expecting it. I don't know. It's hard to say. I need 5 keys in order to get that 1 condition, and it's probably.
I was also
not
looking for keys to try to get 5 keys, and I can't find 2 more, sadly. So I'm just kind of like meandering now, I feel, which is a little. I'll go check these last 2 rooms, otherwise I'll reset my day.
You might want to luck out on the lockers because the lockers can contain keys that let you chain into additional lockers.
Oh,
but that is a big
key.
luck play.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
So.
Yeah,
are you working together or are you being competitive? I'm very confused right now because suddenly I'm like, wait, are they working together or are they not working together?
So for the record, I'm currently kind of demolishing him. So I'm making sure that it's an even fight.
Oh my gosh. Which I don't know if anyone has been so roasted. I mean, I feel roasted just sitting on the sidelines. That's gotta be an RNG first here. Oh my goodness gracious.
Not the first.
Hold on. I thought we were having friendly.
That hurts.
I thought we were doing friendly competition. I don't know. Like
I got a fourth key too.
You got a fourth key, yeah.
That's crazy. I'm one key short. No way.
So what I'll say is that like even in like a race condition like this, sometimes it's like, you know, you just like forget something and you're like, where is like the fourth upgrade disc or something like that, right? And you just kind of forget, and it's just kinder and nicer to be like, well, you know, you could try to get the one that's in the foundation. It's like, oh, you're right, yeah, I had the foundation. So sometimes, you know, you can be hyper competitive, but we don't really have to be hyper competitive.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around what was just said. You gotta understand this. Like,
I am not demolishing
It's sillier
him.
than that.
I'll say he's got a better shot on the right side than I do.
Unwrap quick.
Type one in chat if you like laughed in the last minute or so, because I can't fathom what's going on right now.
We have fun here.
Oh yeah.
At least I'm having fun. How are you doing, Bobby?
Oh, I'm chilling.
Let's ask Bobby. Let's ask Bobby about this.
Let's ask the guy that just got cooked.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. Oh man.
Okay. Can we replay this bit during AGDQ while Bobby's doing an interview?
I will say, when my mind is distracted, it's just really funny to like just roast Bobby sometimes. I remember during AGDQ, and I feel bad about a lot of things during that GDQ run, the SGDQ one, because for the record, Bobby and I were both up on SGDQ stage for 2025 doing exactly this race, except it was Rad Ringtail that he was competing against. And for some reason, it came into my head during commentary that like, he was behind and he picked up a shovel at one point. I'm like, well, he's picking up the shovel to, I don't know, dig his own grave. And I felt terrible afterwards, right? Because I don't know why that was like the first thing that came to mind. But
I know.
I don't know.
He's cooking, man.
Bobby's cool with it, right?
Yeah, he's cool with it, right, guys, right?
Okay, so Bobby is a good sport. I'm writing notes right now.
He's an excellent sport, and he's a wonderful human being, and I'm glad that I have this opportunity to race against him legitimately.
Very, very sweet.
Oh, poor Bobby.
Very sweet of you. What a nice thing to say about your competitor.
Okay, I take it back. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, heck.
Yeah. So in the meantime, back on track, I've dug up these things called microchips, which I don't think are going to be super relevant for what we're looking for here. But they are resources that we can use for other things, such as trading into the trading post to convert them into, say, dice or keys, or potentially like into like sledgehammers even. Normally what they're intended for is, oh my God. Normally what they're intended for
what did you get?
Is unlocking the throne room floor plan, which normally doesn't come up because you don't have Blackbridge unlocked. But believe it or not, one individual here happens to have Blackbridge unlocked, and he completely forgot that was the point of these. All right, yeah, let's do this. So this is going to be my fourth floor plan, which is incredible. What time are we at, by the way?
We are at about 40 minutes right now. So about 5 minutes till we take our break here for blueprints.
Yeah,
about 5 minutes. So start thinking about where it might be a good idea to take a break. Doesn't have to be right on the nose, just kind of around there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm happy to take a break whenever, because we can usually just tend to have a good stopping point. I'm sorry, the throne room door didn't fully open.
Oh, you're right. I did end in planetarium. Thank you, chat. I did end. That was the whole point of that. Yes.
Right.
That was the whole point of that. You're correct.
Okay. All right. So this is my throne room floor plan. And that puts me at add 4 new floor plans. Excellent. Okay.
Yes,
So,
I think we should do a shout out for Bobby here, especially right now. Thank you.
Come on.
There's Bobby's face smiling right there for folks on YouTube. Right there. There's Bobby's smiling face on the avatar in the chat right now.
Oh, man. Okay. Guys, go drop a follow on Twitch. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. If you felt bad for me, come on. No, I'm kidding. Unless...
I'm sorry. I've been having too much fun with this, okay?
Oh, there's no such thing as too much fun, I don't think. I think we're having a good time here.
Screw it. Let's just read the red prints again. Why not? Just read the whole book
you
again.
click it again, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that counts for 2, right?
Yeah, it counts for twice, yeah.
Chat's calling Bobby out now about ending a day without doing something.
Yeah, right. I'm getting like 3
It happens, okay? It happens. I will defend him on actual things. I promise.
You know what? You don't have to know what's going on with this game. I don't know my butt from my elbow when it comes to puzzle games. All I can tell y'all is both of these runners are having a great time. I'm having a good time. That's the beauty about RNG. You don't have to know what's going on to have a good time here. This is great.
If you have any questions, direct them in chat, and I can't read chat at the moment, but I'm sure Bobby can direct them, and we can give.
Yeah.
I'll take hallway closet here. Okay.
Oh, I did hit 5 stars, which is nice.
I just need to dig up nothing, and I think I'm most of the way there. Although drafting 6 green rooms in a day could be a hassle. It depends.
Well, I was talking about this earlier, and I think I was talking to Richard or somebody else, and I think we had Ocarina of Time on a few weeks ago. And I did not realize how old Ocarina of Time was getting, which I know that the crumbles to dust. We can skip all that. We can skip all feeling like a bunch of old people here, right? Point be told is I haven't been having enough recent games on here. So we started having like some Elden Ring, some Souls stuff. And I know what you're thinking. This guy's Dark Souls 1 still pretty old. Just bear with me here, okay? So anyways, we started having these more recent games on here. You know, again, noting the state. And no, it's not 1905. Richard's just having fun with the layout. But anyways, what's going on with this is that I'm finally starting to have more recent games on where no, I don't know what's fully going on here, but I'm glad that I am because there's still a lot of fun stuff going on, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the fun of it. It's also hard to get like games with, you know, true randomizers like quickly after they come out, right? That's half the battle.
Sure.
Is getting things that, you know, are fully developed and feel like a whole thing. And, you know, this is just lucky enough where this entire game is a randomizer. So, it works out.
Yeah.
Of course, and that's why I like the bingo board concept too. If something's so new where it doesn't have a full-on randomizer, this is a good way to have new games with objectives here on RNG. That's why I say randomizer adjacent, because the bingo stuff or the objective stuff really does help to forward that so we can have some newer stuff on here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look through this telescope real quick. All right, so I'm ready to take a break if that's the appropriate time.
I can take a break.
Bobby is ready to.
You can both take a break? Okay. All right, so let me know when you both are paused here, and I'll read a couple announcements here on behalf of Games Done Quick.
Yep. Pause.
Okay, pause. Welcome back to Random Number Generation. I am joined here by Kelly and Bobby Room, and this is Blueprints. So whenever y'all are ready, feel free to take it away and conclude this race. Very excited to see how it unfolds.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Thank you, Sky. All right, we'll kick it off in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, we're back in.
Yeah.
We're back in. Gelly has a dominating lead, I would say, doing pretty well overall.
Yeah, I'm a little closer.
Yeah, you got the 4 floor pans, which is very, very big.
Yeah, but anything can change, especially with the 6 green rooms in a day. It sometimes will just not pop up, and I may have to take an alternate route in. So, like, it is what it is. For what it's worth, though, I have a pretty good resource value day today because I did manage to get the telescope into the observatory. So
nice.
That allows me to double. I had 4 trunks in the entrance hall. I guess I'll give, let's see here. I'll give a good floor plan. I'll give a good plan of what I'm looking to do next. I'm looking to dig up nothing, which I may have done already, but I need to be like cognizant of that when that happens. That'll connect me up to here, and then either a full directory of red rooms or 10 gems will connect me to this larger blob up here. And then drafting 6 green rooms in a day is something that I'm looking to target more than anything else. So that's kind of where I'm at. These 3 links will get me all the way to the rest. And I'm hoping to hit that sooner rather than later, but no promises, as many of these things are difficult to achieve as they're laid out. So I got Terrace here. Was that such a wise idea?
I'm very close to getting rank 9, which is something I really want to get sooner rather than later. I just need 1 key to unlock that final door to get to that rank 9 square. I still have yet to see the workshop a single time, so I would love to make a contraption. That would be really cool. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be
that would be sick.
The workshop, based on testing that we've done, on the first day it's the most likely to pop up, and even then I think it's just a standard room. After that, it becomes harder and harder to get hands on. If you can manage to pick up a battery will make the workshop more common of a pickup to get. But like that's the one amount of control that you can get in terms of getting the workshop, and the workshop is the only way that you can actually get access. I have managed to dig up nothing. I can't believe I was not paying too much attention. We're good there. All right, and that does give me allowance from the. Did I get a free cloister? I must have gotten a free cloister. All right, cool. I won't need that, but yeah, I managed to do it the terrace way, which is the rarer way that you manage to get hands on that. Oh, I have 5 keys, gems, and coins each at this
very
current
nice
moment. All right, cool. Great. We're doing great. All right. So all I need now is the draft 6 green rooms in a day, which may or may not happen here. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see here. Yeah. In the meantime, I'm hoping to hit. Oh, no chance.
Did you get it?
No, I'm 1 away. So if I get any green room at this point, I think I win. Am I sure about that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, what are the odds? I mean, there's any chance that this doesn't work, but we'll see.
Find out.
I'll pull this lever here because I'm gonna make sure that while I'm in the secret garden, which is something that I managed to get, if I can pull one of these levers, this may be an alternate way in if I want to attend grade 5, for example. So that might be important. We'll see.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't been paying too much attention to the conditions that I'm hitting because when I've been doing bingo practice, what matters most to me is getting the path forward. I don't think, and I think this has been proposed before, is being able to do like who can get the most conditions in whatever amount of time.
Yeah, like number instead of path.
Yeah, and I'd like to do that, but one of the things that's difficult about it is that I think we just haven't done it before. There is a variation to the thing that we're playing here, which as bequest. The variation that we could do is it's called Fog Quest. In case anybody's looking to play this for themselves, who has played Blueprints before and wants to have a bit of a bingo twist on it, there's a bunch of bingo variations. So we're playing bequest here, which is the path from one way to the other. As a joke, someone recommended that we should have it in such a way where you're like literally drafting, and so you can only see the conditions that are next to the ones that you've already drafted. So I hacked that together using the code that Rad had put together, and cool. It's called Fog Quest, and so Fog Quest is also something that's available on Rad's website as well. And that one tends to be surprisingly about the same length as bequest, and I've been practicing with both of those. So you should come and join because we do that weekly and regularly. But also so the difficulty is that I tend to be hyper focused on making a path from one way to another, and so I tend to miss out on conditions that I just kind of pick up incidentally, and so I'm kind of stymied by the fact that for example, I've drafted a donut around a drafted donut, and so I almost wonder if I've drafted a donut
the meta donut.
Okay, so I literally yesterday I drafted a donut. So this is what drafting a donut is. Everybody welcome. So when you have a single space that is surrounded on all sides by 8 rooms, that is a donut. And so I had incidentally drafted that. And so there it is. That is a condition that I've managed to hit. However, as you've noticed, like I'm more focused on being able to make the rest of the way up here. So yeah. I meant to pick up the conservatory, and I already had the conservatory. What am I doing? All right. I got to focus on this, right?
Got to lock in.
Yeah, I got to lock in.
I did get the,
I get one
finally got the shovel,
done.
too. I did,
there you go.
Which is nice. I have an old shoe. Love that. So I can finally get my 3rd floor plan, which is cool. Very exciting. I can go get the conservatory whenever I want to make my way out of there. Which I might want to do here. I am doing a pretty good house. I did get, because I got the, what was it, the terrace? I got the terrace, so I'm looking for the cloister as well. So that would be another thing that I would like to get at some point. If not, it's also fine. But that was the best time when I have the terrace. And I have, well, I have maybe a few green rooms drafted, so that would be another thing to think about is green rooms for myself. So yeah, that's where we're at there.
Right. Yeah. In the meantime, I'm hoping to draft one of like greenhouse or something along those lines. We'll see here. I don't want to be drafting that way. If I can get like greenhouse or if I can get access to conservatory, that's GG. Spare room. Conservatory likes to show up near the top of the board, so I'm kind of aiming to get up to there, but we'll see if I can make it. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. GG. That is time for me. I made it from the top to the bottom. Yeah.
What?
And that was kind of quick.
GG's.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the cloister for free.
Hey. Bobby will keep going. The way that we handled this last time. It's tough to, I mean, we can end early, but the last time when we were at GDQ, we were like, we should try to get both players to finish, right? But
Sky, it's always up to you. Up to you.
No, you should definitely keep going, Bobby.
All right.
We want to see 2 completions. In the meantime, I'll do what Rad did, which is attempt to go to room 46, which may or may not happen here. Which is a funny thing that happened last GDQ. Again, with the great amount of variance that can exist in games like these, like the fact that I got a contraption and stamped library and I got the throne room with the black bridge, that was absurd. Sometimes it just happens and sometimes it doesn't. So
there's a huge variance. Yeah, we can never really tell when things are going to go fast or slow. The only thing you can do is like make sure the board is randomized properly. But even that is like, you know, how do you cater to a random board, right? It could be really hard and you just get really good luck and still, you know, just beat it immediately, right? So the best you can do is make an average board and just hope you get average luck, right? It's the best thing we can do.
Yeah, definitely. I like the idea of going to room 46 and seeing how long it takes Bobby to finish.
There we go.
So one of the things that I'm going to try to do to assist my progress towards room 46 here is I have managed to get a workshop with a power hammer, and because I have Secret Garden on board, that allows me to actually unlock the other side of the antechamber. So we'll actually be able to go in there. The downside is I actually have to figure out how to get to the lower area that has the antechamber lever. So we'll see whether we can get that. In the meantime, Bobby, what are you thinking? Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna go dig up my words are hard. I'm gonna go dig up my 3rd floor plan right now. I'm gonna go do that over in the corner. I did mention I will have to do this before. I have to go all the way to the corner and dig that up because I didn't have a shovel basically this whole game, which has been frustrating. So now that I do have a shovel, I can go over here and get this floor plan. So this gives me my 3rd. And so now I just need to think about my 4th. Honestly, like maybe closed exhibit is gonna be my best chance here, I think. I got closed exhibit already, so I'm trying to think of the other 4th I could get. Maybe if I could get a contraption, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I'm trying to figure out any other way I can get a 4th floor plan. I mean, maybe the mechanarium, honestly, that might be the next thing.
Yeah, mechanarium is a thought. For what it's worth, to folks who are not aware, the mechanarium is a floor plan that you can pick up kind of accessing the very end of the game, more or less. There's a lower basement area that I'm going to be aiming to access at some point here. And down there you can get access to that. That is probably the most reasonable fourth floor plan is the Mechanarium, to be honest. I mean, there's Throne Room, there's Lost and Found, there's Treasure Trove on a technicality. I don't think I'd be asking anybody to get that. And then there's all the drafting room ones that you can get, but those again are highly dependent on whether or not you can get there. Let's see here.
Can finally view a stamp in the library, so that's neat.
Very nice.
I can at least view a stamp, I guess, in general, because I for the first time found the magnifying glass. Again, we can bring up the 5-second rule again. Looking at this stamp here for 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So waiting on that one, so that's really good. Got that going. So again, I think I'm getting the thing about this run is I think I'm getting not good luck with items. I think the item luck has been pretty poor for me this run. So I've been missing all the items that I've been needing at like critical moments. That's been like a big thing for me in this run.
And it just happens sometimes. Yeah.
Right.
The game luck is, there's a literal stat called luck that exists in the game that can be manipulated through certain avenues. And most of the time it tends to be but like sometimes you can just get denied having the ability to pick up like anything. And so you just kind of get, you're kind of in a strange position no matter what you do. So, if you don't end up getting items, you can't put those together into contraptions, even if you get the workshop anyway, and yada, yada, yada. So it's a big, sometimes the game is mean, I think, is the most appropriate summary of
that is a good summary,
of all
yes.
That. Yeah. All right. I'm currently looking for, because I've made it to the antechamber at this point, and now I'm looking for, because I've already drafted the shrine, and I'm trying to think if there's a second way to do that lever without actually having the tomb. I don't think there is, but I might unlock the basement because I have the power hammer anyway. Essentially, you need to put a bunch of things together. Oh, does pump room do it? Can I drain fountain?
Oh, a shovel. Nice. I think I can dig 10 times now, which is big. So that's one.
Let's take a look here.
I might actually run outside. So I also got a shovel, which means now I can try to dig 10 times in a day, which would, is in our 4th row here. Not like the most important thing that I would want to get, but it does kind of connect the left side of the board for me a little bit to kind of go upward, which is nice. So I'm actually going to go out here and try to get the root cellar out here. So I might as well, it'll give me some dig spots as well as more dig spots for the rooms I'm generating coming up here in a second. So I might as well give it a shot while I'm doing this. It's better than nothing, right? It's better than just kind of flopping around. It helps to be a little bit proactive. Of course, I didn't get it, sadly. But we can, actually, I'll probably do the shelter because I'm also looking for some red rooms as well now. If I want to go up that left side, either that or, dig 10 times a day. So I'm going to start drafting red rooms as quickly as I can here now. So yeah, we're going to try that as well.
So I think I have a path forward to getting into room 46, strangely enough.
Nice.
I managed to get the pump room on this day as well. I have the power hammer incidentally. And so for what it's worth, by the way, I have never legitimately done like a day 1 B quest run, so this is unfamiliar territory to me all the time. I tend to, if anyone needs context, I am a heavily glitched player when it comes to blueprints. I appreciate the fact that you can clip out of bounds in this game by jumping, which is just endlessly humorous to me, right? So when it comes to doing actual bequest things, I'm like, bequest, by the way, being our technical term for the bequesting of the manor to Simon as a part of this lore. And that's why bequest bingo is such a funny little pun, because it is questing for bingo or something along those lines, that's where the name comes from. But I'm going to be attempting to bequest the manor to myself as well here. Gonna be low on steps though, but I think I'll be able to pick up fruit along the way because I managed to pick up a secret garden. So hopefully there's gonna be fruit where I'm going.
I guess closed exhibit is a found floor plan, so it doesn't count as a red room for me. So I can't really take that one as much as
it's not in the red room directory now.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, so not really worth it for me to grab, unfortunately. Archives is, though, which is neat, because I'm immune from that because I have the shelters. That's really nice.
Oh, very nice.
So I'm hoping to get as many red rooms as I can here. Furnace, even better. Well, kind of bad, actually, weirdly, but kind of good. 'Cause I'm immune from the furnace, but I actually would have wanted that to find more red rooms, weirdly, which is kind of silly. So there's that.
Right.
Meant to ask, speaking of the type of player you are, both Gelly and Bobby, I want you to take this time to let us know what you do on your own streams. You know, you took the time to be here. I want to make sure people know where to find you and what you do, and please take the time to shout yourselves out again. This is your time here.
Sure. Gelly, you want to go first?
Oh, yeah, sure. I stream infrequently to seldom. But a lot of the experience that I tend to have is with puzzle games, speedruns, etc. So a lot of the experience that I had before doing Blueprints was Myst related. So I've done a lot of Myst runs in the past. I'm probably going to be moving to, mixing between Blueprints and the Talos Principle, if you're familiar. I'm probably going to be starting up Talos Principle again at some point, et cetera, et cetera. So I tend to do a lot of work with 3D puzzle games and things like that. You can find me at my Twitch, which is just, twitch.tv/Gelly, Gelly. I occasionally do casual games as well, but I'm a lot less versed in that. I just do games that people tell me to play, and that's about it. And that's about all you can find me at. I don't really do a lot of other social media otherwise, so follow me on Twitch, and that's about it. Bobby?
Yeah, so my name is Bobby Berm. I stream usually about 3 days, maybe 4 days a week. I need to put the reservoir down once. Hold on, my brain is empty. Hold on, one moment. I need to drain the reservoir one. I think this is right? Yes. Okay, great. Anyway, yeah, I'm Bobby Berm. I do a lot of speed running. I also, if you're watching the Games Done Quick channel right now, which all of you are, I am also an interviewer as well for on-site activities. So you'll see me at the upcoming Awesome Games Done Quick, running interviews and chatting with a bunch of gamers and running some funny skits and the opening show, what have you. So I'm excited to be back at GDQ coming, which means you guys need to all buy your tickets for Awesome Games Done Quick, or make sure you tune in online, because it's the highlight of the year for sure. So you got to make sure you show up to the event. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I can assure you all too, Bobby works very, very hard on interview team. I'm always seeing Bobby running around the event and just every which way.
Sprinting.
Bobby very much cares about the community, though. So thanks for all you do for Games Done Quick, Bobby.
That's sweet of you. Thank you. That's really nice of you. You're pretty awesome too. I love it's one of my favorite shows on Hotfix. I wouldn't lie to you.
Oh, thank you. While I have a moment here, I do want to shout out another one of my favorite communities here on Games Done Quick. Just got done running Fright Fatale. Was the first event I ever helped to run here on GDQ on the whole here. Frame Fatale is a community of women and femmes who share a passion for speedrunning, gaming, and charity. In addition to their 2 flagship events, they host activities year-round in their community Discord, like Game of the Month and randomizer events. Type !FF in chat to learn more and get involved. So yes, Fatale's mentioned. Let's go. So yeah, just so many wonderful groups here at Games Done Quick where folks can feel welcome, can feel just part of this wonderful family we have here. And also, GD Queer was last week. And by the way, check that out on YouTube. We talked about YouTube earlier, youtube.com/Games Done Quick. Check out all the fantastic runs from that last weekend, because that was a very successful event. And again, just thank you to everyone for your support on that as well. So yeah, I just cannot say enough good things about everything that's been going on here. And again, just we can't do it without everyone in chat. So again, no, it's been a little bit of a rough time for folks lately, but again, just want to say thank you to everyone for just hanging out here and having a great time with us. Again, we can't do it without the community. We can't do it without our fantastic runners here as well. So just thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, this is why I love GDQ, like from the start, right? Is like it's such a fantastic like escape from regular life. You get to hang out with friends, play games that you really love, and in the way that you love to do it, and it's just an amazing, a way to, express yourself outside of, your day-to-day life. So I just love the community and just everything it stands for. So I just love this community so much. So thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for being part of the community.
I concur. I'm currently doing a puzzle, but I agree with everything that's been said here.
I'm currently thinking. I am currently cooking. Hold on, he's cooking.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. I get it.
Simmering at best, but yeah. I will say GDQ is incredibly important. It's one of our last. As society changes and we're losing our third places as people more informed than me would say, it's important to form community. Community above all else is very important. Know people around you, get to love people around you, and GDQ is a way that we can get to form bonds with people over possibly some of the strangest things. I can't imagine speedrunning as something that's standard, but it is, it's important. I think GDQ is important.
What I love here about Hotfix is, a lot of people don't realize that in between events, we still continue to have these communities, right? And that's why we always tell people, take a look at our schedule on our website. Make sure you let people know about the Discord, let people know about the YouTube. We want to let people know that we are here outside of just our real big, AGDQ, SGDQ stuff. We have our community events as well. So just continue to spread the word and let people know we're much stronger as a community. And I want more people to have a place to call home. So, that is a big thing as things, grow, especially as things grow to get more difficult. We just want to make sure we have people know that this is a space for people to hang out in, nice, positive, great space to be in.
Absolutely. Fully agree. Sky Bills, you're totally right. And now, the most natural segue that you'll ever hear ever. Back to blueprints. I'm cooking a little bit. We're feeling good, actually. I finally have, if I pull shop rooms, I can, if I do pull shop rooms, I'm able to hit an experiment, which is great. So I could start getting my experiments. I have a way to go get the mechanarium, which is really exciting. So we're starting to cook a little bit. So we have a bunch of ways that we can continue with this run, which is really, really good. So I have maybe an end in sight potentially.
For my part, I've completed most of the prerequisites for getting to room 46, but I just managed to run out of steps. So I'm going to need to find a way to open up the antechamber, and if I can do that and be able to make it to that door, I'm good to go. But no promises on that, obviously. Getting to room 46 is really hard, regardless of whether or not you're playing casually, because the conditions required are hard. But I now permanently have basement access, so that's always good. I'm always going to be able to pull that north antechamber lever, and so it's just a matter of getting the things together to get, say, the secret garden key or the Great Hall or the third one. Secret Garden is the most useful run, really. I at this point I have both of those available to me, and that's, if I can get Dartboard to work that out for me, that's great. Otherwise, I can't imagine it's going to be anything other than Great Hall or Secret Garden, but it's not coming to mind. So
I made a contraption. That's exciting. I have my first ever room.
Nice.
The first workshop I finally got. I got a contraption. Thank God.
Very nice.
Which is very exciting.
Yep. There are 8 potential contraptions in the game, and more often than not, the one that you can build is one of the better ones. But there's some really obscure ones that you can get stuck with, to where making a contraption is not that good of a thing to hit. So,
absolutely.
What contraption did you build, actually? I'm curious.
I built the electromagnet, very weirdly. Not something I often make, but very cool. So now what I am doing, and maybe you guys saw this on Gelly's side a little bit ago, what I'll be doing now, I just need a couple more things here. I need, a couple experiments, some green rooms, and floor plans. But we're about to do the 4th plan, actually, here. So we're going to get our 4th floor plan. We're going to be heading over to our tomb right now. And so I know Gelly talked about this a little bit before, but the outer rooms in general, it's hard to get the tomb. The tomb is one of the hardest things to actually show up. And of course, I get it immediately without even needing the dice, hilariously. So what's happening now is I'm able to actually just go ahead and do the tomb. I didn't even need the dice, funny enough. Usually I almost say there are requirements to actually get the tomb, just because it's so difficult to just randomly happen upon it. So we did get lucky. We got it right away. So I'm heading down to get the mechanarium, which is actually 2 different squares on this board.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to be a nerd for a quick second, because this is like one of the opportunities that I have to do that. So the outer room drafting logic is much more... Shut up! You didn't even let me start.
Here we go again. He's ranting. All right.
Oh, fish paste. Okay, so drafting the outer room is a very strange thing in comparison to the drafting mechanics available in the rest of the manor, because there are 3 considered rare rooms, and then the rest are common. So the way that the game works is that, okay, I'm out of this update, so that's good. The way that it works is that the game will shuffle all of the rooms available, and then it has like a 90% chance of putting the tomb at the very back, and then it has like a 75% chance of putting the schoolhouse at the second to the back, and then it has like a 65% chance of putting the shrine from the third from the back. This is technically not true for us because we're in V mode, so those odds are a little bit lower. I think it's 45%, 45%, 30%. But in any case, what essentially happens is that the tomb is more often than not shuffled to the very back of the list. And so when you start by drafting, it picks the first 3, and then when you re-roll, it goes to the second 3, and so on and so forth, looping through. So in order to get the tomb, it's about a 50-50 shot that you actually need to roll 2 dice in order to access it, which is why you tend to go in with 2 dice to get the tomb. There's your answer.
Bang.
I hope that's any more useful. Shout outs to TF Murphy. I almost forgot to say the name of the goat himself, the man who looked through the Playmaker state machines that are present in this game as a part of Unity that allows us to fully reverse engineer the game and have deep and insightful understandings of how things work in order to we can actually use that knowledge appreciably to be like, well, for safety's sake, you should always go in with 2 dice, etc. And so without him, we wouldn't be able to have 90% of the knowledge that we have with this game.
True.
So.
Shout out to TF Murphy. I will also say I did just get my 4th floor plan, which is very exciting.
Very nice. Okay.
So I got my final goal. So now I'm 2 goals away from finishing my day here, which is very cool. So we're close. We're close. We just need either rank 9 and 6 rooms, really. So that's definitely within grasp. I think that's not too far away.
Do you recall how many experiments that you've triggered? Or
I have not triggered any, sadly.
Our time is 1 hour 12 minutes.
Gotcha. So we got maybe like 15 or so.
You are good.
Cool. Yeah, so this is very doable. 6 green rooms, and then rank 9. Those are 2 not too bad things to try to get. So we're really going to try to lock in on developing a house. Is kind of just the way I've just worded. I guess it's pretty obvious, but just getting a house that gets decently far, like physically to rank 9, that kind of thing. So hitting rank 9 itself, as well as getting what Gelly did before, which is getting those 6 green rooms all in one day. And so there are some things we can do to make that a little bit easier. Like we could do some things with the shrine to be a little tricky, that kind of thing. I'm also now just going down here to, hit another lever, just because why not, for the swag points. I'm already down here, might as well. I think it's in the top right anyway. Yeah, and Gelly just hit 2 levers. I had to get it the second before I did, That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, I did technically pull 2 unique levers. I mean, it's whatever.
That's hilarious. I actually don't even think I hit a second lever. I think this is technically the north lever I hit before any other lever.
That's wild. So you're actually down there in the...
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Isn't that weird?
That is strange. Normally you expect to have pulled another lever previous, but the north lever is, I suppose, the most consistent one that you could reasonably pull. So I'm not sure. Let's see here.
Where are you at with your journey?
I'm not getting it, unfortunately. I was very close on one day and I just ran out of steps. The problem now is that I have to be able to make it up to the antechamber, and I have to be able to get like the Great Hall, for example, which is no guarantee. And again, Secret Garden Key, I haven't been able to get that anytime soon. Although I could have gotten Locksmith there, but the problem is with Locksmith that there's like a 30% chance that you don't actually get the key that you want. Sorry, there's like a 70% chance. Although I did just get the locksmith, so maybe I can pick up a little bit more money to make that work. We'll see. But once I get any one of those antechamber doors open, all I will need after that is to just make it up there. I'm sure that's going to be an easy thing and not at all completely difficult. We'll see though. All right.
I'm also, while you're doing that, there is an argument to be said, I could have just reset down in the tomb or by the north lever, but I do have a decent day kind of cooking right now. I do have like 40 steps left. I have a lot of keys and rerolls, so I'm like, why not just keep trying to get to rank 9? I know Rad in the chat was mentioning how, there's a blessing of the gardener, so I'm definitely going to try to grab that in short order here.
Correct.
If I can. So those will be the two things. I'm going to try to develop this day, and if not, we're going to reset, try to get the blessing of the gardener, and then go from there. So we'll see.
For anyone who's unfamiliar with the game, might be a bit late at this point, but I'll do my best. The shrine is one of the 8 outer rooms that exists, and you can put in an amount of money and it will give you a blessing to correspond with that amount of money. And it just so happens that 5 or 6 gold corresponds to the blessing of the gardener, which introduces 8 courtyards into your drafting pool. And each one of those is a green room, so if you can draft like 5 of those in a greenhouse or whatever, like you're set. There's no issue there. So the downside is that you have to get a bunch of courtyards, which if you haven't upgraded your courtyard yet, they each cost a gem, and then there's no promise that you're going to get that gem back as a part of the process of drafting those. So it may be a bit of a choke point, but like that's one of the more reasonable ways that you can pick up getting that many green rooms.
How many coins was Blessing of the Gardener? Sorry, I was locked in there
5.
for a second.
It's 5. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll have to get that as well. I'm gonna have like basically one more chance at a day here after this to get it within the time range. We'll see if I get it. I think there is a decent chance I can, but we kind of have to rely on a couple different things to go right, so we'll see.
Yeah. Do you have the shrine drafted yet?
I do not yet. I just got the tomb.
Okay. So that's right. Yeah. Yes, you'll need to go another day. I see.
Right.
Yeah. That is a difficulty, is that you only get 1 outer room per day, and so if you want to be shuffling over to another one, you have to reset the whole thing, and that's a whole hassle in and of itself. So,
Let's try to open some of these.
Okay. I don't need you quite yet, but that's okay. I do have a shovel. Yeah. So as I spoke before, I'm gonna have a difficult time getting the progress up. I think. Okay, veranda. I'm going to bet on veranda. As I always say whenever I'm doing Blueprints Bingo, always draft veranda, ADV. Veranda is an incredibly overpowered room for partially glitched reasons. Essentially, the luck that it awards as a part of its luck stat is accidentally doubled for whatever reason the first time that you draft a veranda. So the next time that I pick up a green room here, it's going to be way more item heavy than you would normally expect. So I'll be trying to do that, although I am out of gems, so maybe that's a dead end. Unfortunate. Maybe I shouldn't have picked up the veranda, GG. I ran out of gems.
I had the weirdest storeroom ever. I had a hammer and no key, which was very strange.
What?
I know.
How does that? You must have picked up the key ahead of that. There's no way. The storeroom,
I don't know,
as a room normally gives you 1 gem, 1 key, 1 coin. Not have a key in it. Are you sure you didn't
I know,
get, like,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Maid chambered or something like that?
I truly don't know.
Yeah, it's goofy.
What do I want here? This is all bad. Gosh. Can I get in here? I can. Okay. Please don't screw me here. Okay, that's good.
Fingers crossed.
I need to get to the right here. So I just need to get to rank 9, and then that's the harder one of the two. Patio is good. I can't do it. Oh shoot. I have to do this. Oh, come on, dude. Oh, that's so frustrating. I have to go backwards. So I have no gems right now, which is frustrating.
Yep.
So I can barely not get to, man. It was a frustrating setup. Now I have a gem, which is cool, out of this room, out of the, what do you call it? Out of the boudoir, but now I have to get a little fancy here. I guess I can, do I have the bottom? I might be able to get into antechamber, weirdly. Do I have antechamber open? I don't. Great, I just ended the day. Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so there's that. All right, so I have one more chance here. So I have like one more day to get all of our green rooms and get to rank 9 all in the same day. So we just kind of have to get lucky, I think. We have to get a really good day. So this will be the last chance here.
Good luck.
Thank you. Also, the music in that last section where you hit the north lever is just beautiful. I love it so much. It's so
such
good.
a good crescendo up to the rest of the game. Yeah,
I know. I'm gonna try to get at least maybe. I'm gonna try to get a couple of things here. I'm gonna try to get some dice if possible to try to guarantee the shrine, if we can. So we're gonna try for that as best we can. Okay, I don't want that. We're gonna look for some dice here. We'll grab a closet. Why not? Sure, we'll take some money in case we get that. So we need at least 5 coins as well for those 6 green rooms. We're gonna go north here. Again, we are just kind of looking for some dice. We'll go straight here. I want to make sure we can develop our house enough here. Looking here, we got the laboratory. We're gonna take that, see if we can get a trigger experiment. So we don't need rank 9 potentially. Adding an aquarium would be crazy work here if we could do that. Let's see if we get this. Key for every set your steps. Each time you eat an apple, 3 times you open a trunk, and each time you unlock a security door. I guess we try for security doors. Then we can do steps to 40, something like that. That's going to be what we're going to have to do here. So we can get security doors. That would be a ton of different things that we could check off right away, but might be a little unlikely. We'll give it a shot. Before we go this way, I'm going to go around.
Yeah, a lot of blueprints near the end tends to be play to your routes, where it's like, it feels like there's no chance I'm going to be able to make this work, but if these things happen, then maybe I can get there.
Yeah, exactly.
And more often than not, you actually do end up getting there.
Yeah, you just really got to hope for like the couple things that you need, right? Like for example, here I needed the 5 coins, so we have that now, right? So that's one kind of check that I need. Next, we just need like a way to guarantee the shrine. We don't need that by any means, but it'll kind of be moot to do it otherwise. I guess what I could do is I could just reset until I get the shrine. That's also an option I could do as well. That's 1 green room as well. We have a lot of money here now. I'm hoping just for any set of dice, but maybe we just try for it. Debating what I want to do here. Getting guaranteed dice is tough. I also have not had the lavatory for a full set of red rooms, but I don't think I really need that anymore. We can shuffle here until we get a couple green rooms per se, so we can try to do that as well. Get more green rooms going here. Let's redo this. Veranda is great. That's 1 green room. That's 2 on the board. We're trying to get as far in the house as we can as well. We definitely want some gems here, so we're gonna grab the parlor as well. There's an apple, which would have been helpful for that achievement, or that experiment rather. Gems are not in the white box or the blue box. Gems are in both the blue box. That's not right. So false, false, true. Not in the white box or blue box. So it's in the black box. I'm gonna wait for these to spawn. Great. And we're gonna see what we got here. These are not too great. We'll go gem. At this point, I think now we'd maybe go back and try to... Okay, secret passage is good for green rooms, so I'm gonna try that. Because we get at least 1 that's free here. And this gets us more north facing. This might need a key. Yeah, it needs a key. So we'll have to come back here. Gelly, how you doing over there? Are you still trying to develop your house?
I'm still fighting for it. I got kind of close last time, but the problem was I was running out of steps, and also I ran out of gems, so
really?
it never came together, which is all right. It's all right. No, to get antechamber consistently within 90 minutes is something that I'm very sorely out of practice of. So it's like, whatever, it is what it is.
Right. Yeah, it's a hard skill to like hone in on. I feel like equally as much as it is luck, right?
There are people who are very good at it. Shout outs to Taiwan and Blackened and Milanista, all those folks who are doing that very consistently. I couldn't imagine.
Okay, we got a silver key here as well. I could silver key up there. Let's silver key here. I think this is fine. Cloister. Oh, the cloister's not free. Shoot. Let's go back this way. We're going to try to get another... We're going to try to open this door this way out of here because this will give us another green room right here. So this will guarantee us at least one bypassed room. There's the cloister for free. Nice. We'll be able to dig 10 times if I had a shovel.
Yeah.
If I had one.
Yeah.
I also don't have a key card, sadly, and a lot of these doors are locked. So that's a little frustrating. I'm only 1 square away from rank 9, which is incredibly frustrating. So I just need a key card or security at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, free cloister though, very cool. A second free cloister on stream. That's locked. See if I can get a unlocked door here. All right, it's getting tough. Need to go this way.
What are we looking at for time? Just double checking.
You're still doing pretty good right now. Let me see, about 125, almost 126 now at this point. Yeah, 126.
Bobby, this is probably your last attempt.
Last chance here, yeah.
Come on, Bobby.
I know, we're trying. We're trying.
We're burning oil right over here. Come on. You got it.
Give Bobby some encouragement, Jack.
I know, we can try.
We not only believe, we know, you know.
This will be all right, let's just go balls to the wall. Let's try to go as north as possible here. Let's see if we can get rank 9 in 3 green rooms. Let's see if we can miracle through it. I don't know if we can do it, but we'll find out. There we have that room. Okay, we have to go get the shrine now. That's the only way we're gonna be able to get out of this. So let's go take that risk, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. Let's go down, get that. Let's go this way. We're gonna go out. We're gonna go out to our main room. We kind of have to weave our way through this house, which is a little frustrating to get all the way back. So we'll try our best here. All right, we had this room as well that I didn't draft before. Let's maybe grab this so we can get a free room, hopefully. Get a free green room? Sadly not. It's okay, we can just grab a coat check, put it there, get rid of it. We can also eat food here. We don't have a furnace for this, sadly. That's okay.
Okay, that pizza though, like, who likes wood-fired pizza, like done, like, what is that, margarita? I think that's how it's pronounced. I love it, you know, fresh mozzarella, some basil. Somebody in the chat's gonna say pineapple. There's always one.
I gotta know, to that end, I gotta know, chat, what's your favorite topping on a pizza? We gotta know. We're already there. We gotta know what the favorite is.
Does olive oil work? I always like a little bit of olive oil on top.
I don't know if that's a topping though. You know, I think it's closer to a sauce than
more of a sauce
than anything else. You know,
more of a sauce. Let me think what else. Now, obviously, it doesn't go on the same pizza, but like also like blue cheese crumbles are so good. If you haven't had like a buffalo pizza with some chicken and blue cheese crumbles on it, I miss being in Buffalo sometimes. I don't miss it this time of year. Shout out to my Western New Yorkers out there that might be hearing this. Go Bills, as in Sky Bills, but still go Buffalo Bills to my fellow Western New Yorkers out there. But like, Buffalo has some of the best pizza / food out there, you know?
Buffalo the city or Buffalo the sauce, am I right? Sorry.
Well, yeah, both, you know. That was one of the things I miss about living out there is they used to do like this one place, I don't even think they're in business anymore, but they used to do like a kind of hot sauce base, and then you had like the chicken strips on top, but like it was cut up chicken strips, blue cheese crumbles, and then like some lettuce just tossed there on top. I know it sounds weird, but it was like really good. Like,
no, it doesn't sound weird at all. That sounds amazing. You're selling it. You're selling it. Unfortunately, absolutely. I will say my day ended. I'm running out of keys. I did get the shrine that I needed to get the green room. So maybe another day I would have done it. But I know we're coming up on time. So this might be a good place to wrap it because I would have had to start a whole other day here. So we were so close. We do have, like I said, the blessing of the gardener that adds 3 courtyards to our draft pool today. So today probably would have been the day to get 6 green rooms as well as reach rank 9. So I almost guarantee I would have gotten it after this. Surely, right? No. But I do have the blessing of the gardener, so I think this would have been the day, but we are out of time. So I will say also, Sky Bills, thank you so much for having us. This is amazing time. This was such a fun fight. And yeah, I love the show. The randomizers are so cool, and they're becoming more popular too. And I'm excited to see the growth of them over time. So thank you so much for having us.
Of course. And again, if you ever find another randomizer you like, find another bingo thing you like, it was wonderful having you on. This was our 128th episode, I want to say. So yeah, you ever find something else, I'm all ears. I'm always looking for a good randomizer to have on, especially some more modern ones, because I was Miss Old Lady Randomizers for the first 100, so I'm trying to find more modern stuff here. So let's hear it one more time for Gelly and Bobby Byrne. By the way, any last minute shout outs here, because this isn't the end of our programming tonight. I want to make sure we give Game Masters some proper introductions here.
Yeah, not really. I need you all to go. If you want to go to AGDQ, you got to go register. We would love to see you at the event. Make sure to go there. We would love to see you in person at the event if possible. If not, watching online is just as good. So make sure to tune in coming up in January. And if you're looking for stuff and speedruns and all those things coming up in the meantime, you can find me at twitch.tv/Bobby Byrne. I'm live like 3 or 4 days a week. So that's all of my stuff. Over to Gelly.
Yeah, I will say if you gave me another 5 minutes, I would actually make it to room 46 because I actually would be on path for that.
Another 5 minutes, guys, please.
In the duration of pretending to get there, it would just be a lot of walking. Essentially, shout outs to Amaranth and Blackened and Milanista and Pickled Human and Lord Pido and all the other folks who are doing BQuest Bingo weekly. We do this every week. We'll do a bingo like this. So if you wanted to show up and do BQuest every week, we do it. We're not racing against each other concurrently, but like you can post your times and there's a little leaderboard that we hang out with. So like we would love to see you at the Blueprints Discord if you wanted to show up to do that. And also shout outs to Tonda. I greatly appreciate the fact that he put in all the work to make this game, and he allowed me to play test this game for as long as I did. So again, great shout outs to Tonda Ross. And of course, shout outs to Bobby and Rad and Flapjack, the four of us who managed to make it up on the GDQ stage with Blueprints as soon as we did, because it was a part of the second submission period. The way that BQuest was actually developed was that we basically kind of brainstormed this idea of like, wouldn't it be really funny if we turned the bingo board into a manor? And so that's where we're at. Like if you look at the menu, that's what we're doing. We're going from the beginning to the end. And so like Rad had managed to whip that up in like 24 hours, and then we did the submission and it went swimmingly. So I'm very glad that I've had this experience. Anyways, here's the room 46. That's time, and that's it from me.
Anyways, thank you so much to y'all again. And again, this is a reminder, please do not go anywhere. This is not the end of our GDQ broadcast.